starts and never ends. Tune in, lean and feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon has got the soul to show you. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Well, hello, 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 and hello to you, and you. Welcome into another edition of Braylon's Virtual Tour Live. Hello, Jennifer Fritz. Welcome in. It's your first time here, and Phil, good to see you. Now, I will say this, okay? We're talking about theme park stuff tonight, so listen. Theme park fans are some crybabies. Yes, me being one of them, abso-fucking-damn-lutely, because we, in the words of Erykah Badu, we are sensitive about our fucking theme parks, okay? My God, I don't know when it's become a crime to be passionate, to be caring, sincere, genuine, and have a good energy of just being game for anything. I don't know when that became a crime of being a crybaby for, caring about theme park stuff or anything for that matter. If it matters to you, should matter to you, right? But anyway, I say all that because the pitches that I'm going to be doing tonight, some of them are going to be expected. Some of them are going to be unexpected, okay? But above all else, we're going to have a good time. Let's get to it because higher is waning, low is available. But either way, we are about to go on tour. Yes, indeed, we are. Let me take down this iconic intro here. You see that virtual tour background? Yes, you do. You hear that virtual tour music? Yes, you do. And then there is me. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Glad to have all you here. So Toon Lagoon has been at Universal Studios Islands of Adventure since the grand opening. So Universal Studios Florida was the first theme park. Islands of Adventure was the second theme park. Volcano Bay was the third theme park. Let me just do this real quick, just in case anybody doesn't really believe that, Volcano Bay is a theme park. The third one, that is. Here we go.
Introducing a water theme park like no other. Universal's Volcano Bay. A relaxing tropical oasis where every carefree moment is inspired by the belief that water is life and life is joy. This is where you'll make the most of every splash, every scream, every breathtaking thrill. Welcome to a new kind of vacation paradise. Welcome to Universal's Volcano Bay, the third amazing theme park at Universal Orlando Resort.
So as you can see, it's the third theme park. Okay, so I love Universal, but Disney is better. Okay, bring it on, bring it on. Listen, I love Universal and Disney. Okay, I think it was Theme Park Network that said, "Can we be Theme Park Poly?" We love Universal, we love Disney. I would say right now that Universal has the edge over Disney because Walt Disney World is a construction site right now, but also too, I understand because when Disney can make it do what it do wait a minute, let's see, I should have it. Give me a moment. Oh yes, when Disney does something of this magnitude, it looks like this, it's hard not to feel for Disney. Roll it.
Open your eyes. Open your eyes.
Think of the one place you've always wanted to see.
This is where our magic comes from?
They say if you dream a thing more than once,
Please, please, please.
it's sure to come true.
Everything you see exists together in the great circle of life.
There are stories about what happened.
It's true. All of it.
In every job that must be done, there is an element of fun.
I told you she was tricky.
Life is full of possibilities. What do you want to be remembered for?
The world is in our hands, and we gotta do something with it.
I just want to say a word of thanks to all the artists, the workers, and all of you. The young and the young in heart. You helped make this dream come true.
When Disney can do that, I feel you, right? I feel you. Myself, Florentin, and Phil are trying to get back to that magic. We are. It's fine to comment. But Disney has lost it where Universal is currently having the upper hand. They absolutely are. And so, with that being said, let's go to attraction ideas because he put out a video about Toon Lagoon. And then, of course, what do you do about Toon Lagoon? Well, I don't just complain, whine, and not come to you with the energy of wanting to see what can be, right? I don't come here and just do all that and not give anything else to advance the conversation, right? So, of course, I got some solutions, but we'll get to that here in just a little bit. Let's get to attractions ideas video right now. Here we go. All right, to here and all right, everybody, here we go. Let's play it right now.
Folks, for the better part of a decade now, I have been a staunch defender of one theme park land and one theme park land alone, that being Toon Lagoon. In spite of the countless amount of critiques I see launched its way on a daily basis, I have stood firm by its side. Sure, I've acknowledged the cons and the weaknesses that come with the land, but I have never faltered on my opinion that Toon Lagoon not only deserves to stay at Universal, but is proven beyond a shadow of a doubt to the bigwigs upstairs that it should stay and that it will stay for years to come. Except, about all that, folks, you see, there's been something that has been brought across my desk today that, has actually made me not only question the future of Toon Lagoon, but now actually has me straight up believing that Toon Lagoon may actually be going sooner than not only I expected, but sooner than maybe any of us expected. You see, folks, the core of my argument for why Toon Lagoon not only should stay, but will stay in the coming years has always been based around the fact that the rides in the land, Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls and Popeye and Bluto's Bilge Rat Barges, have remained popular with general public guests, even though 90% of them really don't even know who these characters are. So
here's the thing, right? I would say that Popeye the Sailor Man is more known than Dudley Do-Right. Oh, I eats my spinach. When you hear that lyric, you know it's Popeye the Sailor Man. Come on. I mean, for goodness sakes, he was on spinach cans for the longest time. Like, Betty Boop just had the Betty Boop musical on Broadway. So the thing is, when you have those type of intellectual properties, it's very difficult to do anything new with them because the older generation that grew up on them, they don't want it touched, right? So it's better to not touch them than to touch them. But if you don't touch them for so long, then they become irrelevant, and then they have to get rid of it, and everybody is an uproar, this, that, and the third. My Lord Jesus. So with Toon Lagoon, I think the reason why it has not left is because, for one, there is a fandom for it. Number two, it's Orlando, motherfucking Florida. It's hot outside. So having a water, land in the midst of that Florida heat, it's wonderful on any hot day. And number three, can we give it up to Universal for a minute that they respect what they have? Let's just keep it a buck. Because here's the thing. When Tiana's Bayou Adventure first came about, I thought everybody was being racist to the ride. I still feel that way about some of y'all talking about the ride, but that's neither here nor there. But the point is, I did my research, I reflected, I calmed down, and recognized it's not that people are being racist toward the ride. They love Tiana. They just wanted Splash Mountain because it was historical to the fabric of Disney parks. And if anything, more people want Princess Tiana to have an original ride. We don't have to take away in order to add something new. Now, from that perspective, I fully agree, right? And Walt Disney has a theory called plussing, right? And so I think that Toon Lagoon just needs to be plussed up just a little bit. Just a little bit. But we're going to get there. Let's continue with attraction ideas here. Here we go.
So sure, you could call the land and the properties within it irrelevant. You could call it outdated. But what you can't say is that the rides in the land are not
Hey,
of a
gorgeous.
high
Good to
quality.
see you. Love
in fact,
you,
they are some of the highest quality
Good to
rides
see
in the
you.
entire resort. And dare I say, some of the best water rides you can find anywhere. And the consistently high wait times, oftentimes stretching above an hour over the summer, proves this beyond a shadow of a doubt. That not only are these high quality attractions, but they are also filling a need in the ride lineup, not only just of Islands of Adventure, but of the entire resort for water rides that help to cool guests off during those hot summer days. And they really do stand alone because you compare this to the other water rides at the resort, River Adventure, One Fish, Two Fish, Fire Drill. They don't even come close to matching what Dudley and Popeye bring to the table as far as getting guests wet and cooling them off during those unbearably hot summer days in Florida. So not only do these two rides fill a unique need that the parks have, but they also just are generally good attractions and still attract a crowd in spite of the fact that the properties they're based on are not necessarily anywhere near as popular as many of the other ones featured in the parks. So why then would Universal prioritize getting rid of Toon Lagoon when there are many other attractions that either A, are nowhere near as popular, or B, are nowhere near as high quality? Well, folks, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but we do now have a reason why. Because not that this is new news or anything like that, or this hasn't been readily available, but I've seen nobody talk about it, and I've only recently come across it just kind of on accident, to be completely honest. And that has to do with the contracts surrounding Toon Lagoon and the rights to use all these characters that are featured. As obviously, Toon Lagoon features a cavalcade of characters, a ton of different characters ranging from different companies and different brands and different time periods, all coming together into one cohesive land. Meaning that Universal had to sign a whole bunch of contracts with a whole bunch of third parties in order to bring all these characters to the parks. The two main parties, though, to be concerned about here are J Ward Productions, who own the rights to the likes of Rocky and Bullwinkle, and most importantly, Dudley Do-Right, and King Features Syndicate, who owns the rights to Betty Boop, and most importantly, Popeye. The contracts that Universal has in place with the smaller players for some of the other properties that make very small appearances in the land basically don't amount to a hill of beans in this world, because they can always easily enough just swap those characters out for someone else or just retheme it to something generic cartoon related. But Popeye and Dudley Do-Right in particular are really what's headlining this land, and should they lose the rights to those characters, the land itself basically ceases to exist.
I just want to say this. When it comes to licensing, right? You think about Marvel, for example, right? And when you go to Walt Disney World, you don't see, the word Marvel, and you see Avengers Campus at Disneyland. That's because Universal got the theme park rights to Marvel, and they could not be on the east side of Mississippi, right? It's that east of the Mississippi, west of the Mississippi, right? But Disney owns the movies and TV shows of Marvel, right? So they have done a 10-year deal. When it's up for renewal, it's usually for the next 10 years, but that can be negotiated. I think what people seem to forget about Toon Lagoon is that even though the characters may not be relevant, they are still being interacted with every day at Toon Lagoon. And before in the 90s, myself, the lovely Cece, Phil, Jeff, and Spidey, and all of us, right? Jennifer, Toots, everybody, right? We used to just be observers of media. But now, fan bases are like a board member. They're like a shareholder. They do hold weight in 2026. So I do think that Universal really wants to care for Toon Lagoon. It is just, how do we add without pissing off the fans? Because if you think Marvel fans and DC fans or something, you think Harry Potter fans or something, theme park fans are sensitive about their shit. Why do you think I did a whole live on Nickelodeon Studios and try to bring it back called Ronalodian Studios? Because that fan base for Nickelodeon Studios and what it was able to do in the 90s still matters to this very day. Let's keep going.
Now, the contract between Universal and J Ward Productions is basically a mystery at this point. It's kind of kept behind confidential walls, but one that we do actually know the stipulations of is Universal's contract with King Features Syndicate. Now, the parameters around that contract, I would just say keep in mind, is probably more or less along the same lines of what they signed with J Ward Productions as well. It'd be kind of weird if those two were not on the same page, given the fact they inhabited the same land. So here's the juicy details, folks. I would say not unlike many other contracts that Universal not only signed at the time, but even signs today, this was initially a 20-year contract, a 20-year agreement between Universal and King Features to use Popeye and Betty Boop and some other smaller properties inside of Islands of Adventure. Meaning that given the fact that the contract started when the park opened in 1999, that it would expire and come up for renewal in 2019. Now, you may be wondering, well, hey, if the contract expired in 2019, why is Toon Lagoon still here today? Well, that's because King Features and Universal worked in a clause to this contract that allowed Universal to extend the contract by 10-year increments every single time it came up for renewal, meaning that in 2019, obviously, they chose to extend the contract for another 10 years to 2029. So, yeah, to put it simply, I'm worried that Universal will not renew the contract for another 10 years to 2039, once we reach 2029. But why should I be worried about that? Everything that I stated in favor of Toon Lagoon is still true today, just as it was in 2019, which is what convinced Universal ultimately to extend the contract for another 10 years. So why then would they not just go ahead and extend for another 10 if the situation around Toon Lagoon has remained the same? Well, for one, folks, even though, yes, it's true, Toon Lagoon is still kicking butt and taking names, the bottom line is the relationship between Universal and these companies is nowhere near as strong as it was in 2019. Now, when it comes to Universal and King Features Syndicate, I mean, they might as well, as far as we're aware, have the same relationship they had in 2019. But when it comes to J. Ward Productions, things have drastically changed because you see, all the way back in 2002, yes, we have to go that far back to describe this relationship. You see, J. Ward Productions started a joint venture company called Bullwinkle Studios with another company called Classic Media to help them manage and distribute and syndicate their content library. 10 years later, this company, Classic Media, was bought out by DreamWorks, meaning that all of a sudden, J. Ward Productions was now in a joint venture with DreamWorks. But then just 4 years after that, DreamWorks was bought by Comcast, making them a part of NBC Universal, meaning that J. Ward Productions was now in a joint venture with Universal. Meaning that at the time when the Toon Lagoon contract presumably came up for renewal, not only for King Features, but presumably also for J. Ward, Universal had an active stake in J. Ward Productions. They were even further incentivized to go ahead and renew that contract and promote those characters because they effectively had somewhat ownership over those characters and were actively making new products and new media at the time, such as the Rocky and Bullwinkle show that was on Amazon Prime. But the situation between Universal and J. Ward Productions has unequivocally changed in that amount of time, drastically changed, as now that joint venture company is basically moot. It more or less doesn't even exist anymore. It's basically dissolved because the rights to these characters and the rights to make new product and new media based on these characters has been sold off to a Canadian company called Wildbrain. Meaning that at this moment in time, Universal has no connection, they have no ownership, and they have no relation to the characters that J. Ward owns because they simply have no stake in it whatsoever. So now when we're talking about 2029, that incentive to keep Toon Lagoon is now out the window. Universal no longer has an ownership stake in those characters and it has no reason to further promote them. Not only that, but it also may very well have soured the relationship between Universal and J. Ward, the fact that they are no longer working together. So yes, even though Universal's relationship with J. Ward has undoubtedly gotten worse since they renewed the contract back in 2019, what still is the same, though, since 2019 is the actual status and quality of the land. That has not changed. At the end of the day, that's the most important thing, right? You don't have to like each other if you're Universal and J. Ward. So long as you can just agree to give them the rights, it doesn't really matter. And so long as Toon Lagoon is still a beloved land by the vast majority of guests going into the parks, even if they don't know the characters whatsoever, then it still is doing its job and has earned a place at the parks. However, I have to unfortunately say, even though, yes, Toon Lagoon in and of itself is largely the same as it was in 2019, the situation at Universal Orlando Resort has greatly changed in those 10 years. Keep in mind, in 2019, they were beginning construction on Epic Universe. They knew that for the next decade, that was going to be their big kahuna, their big major project of investment. They weren't necessarily going to have a whole lot of time or money to invest in a brand new land replacing Toon Lagoon in that decade. And I mean, the fact that we're sitting here in 2026 and the Lost Continent is still standing is proof that obviously Universal was right to extend Toon Lagoon, because even if they wanted to get rid of it in 2019, they wouldn't have had any sort of opportunity to do so given their timeline of projects. So the question then really becomes, what does the next decade after 2029 look like for the parks? What does it look like in the 2030s? Is there going to be an opportunity to replace Toon Lagoon? And they want to? Are there other projects that
the interesting thing, right? When it comes to Epic Universe, Attraction Ideas is absolutely right and wrong on this, right? He's right about the fact that with Epic Universe, yeah, that's what they focused on. But do we remember a video where the executive said that it's going to be not just Epic Universe expanding, but it's going to be all the parks expanding? It was even to the point where it was in a press release that they were going to expand Epic Universe, and they nixed that statement in the press release, which to the theme park community, it really seemed like, why are you nixing a statement that's true? You are expanding. You're not lying to the people. You're just not saying what you're expanding yet. So that's where Attraction Ideas is right. Where he's wrong at, like I said before, is the executive said they are expanding every park. So just because we haven't seen the plans for Toon Lagoon, just because we haven't seen the plans for Volcano Bay, just because we haven't seen the plans for Universal Studios Florida, doesn't mean that during the decade that they were working on Epic Universe, that the other teams were not working on the other parks. So Attraction Ideas is right and wrong on that one. Let's keep going.
That make more sense to prioritize over it. I mean, because after all, that has really been the crux of my argument, is that there are plenty of other projects that make sense to prioritize over even into the 2030s. However, and this is something that I was not called out for in my previous video on this subject matter, is I pulled up this priority list right on the screen right now, and I said, oh, Toon Lagoon is so far down there, why would they ever think to do it? Folks, if you narrow this list down to just what is simply at Islands of Adventure, guess what? It is number 2 on the chopping block. Sure, it's possible that Islands of Adventure could loop in the rarely used, somewhat abandoned Blue Man Group Theater, but based on the construction for the new Fast and Furious Hollywood.
Now, when it comes to that theater, that used to be the home of Nickelodeon Studios. We here on this channel have talked about the multi-purpose use for that building, Gronolodian Studios, having that be a network. G4, the plug of the culture, that being there. We just talked about Access Hollywood being there. So it's created for broadcasting. And as we talked about last night, with Access Hollywood now being canceled by NBC, it would be nice to have a television network of a entertainment energy inside the park, because for those of you who remember Nickelodeon Studios, you may have saw a little something like this. Give me a moment.
Studio audience at Nickelodeon Studios. Nick Arcade is taping for a live studio audience at Nickelodeon Studios at Universal Studios Orlando, Florida.
Is coming. Don't miss tonight's sneak peek of Nickelodeon's newest Nicktoon, Rocco's Modern Life. Tonight, right after Ren and Stimpy on Snick.
What Would You Do was taped in Nickelodeon Studios at Universal Studios Orlando, Florida. What would you do? What Would You Do is taped in front of a live studio audience at Nickelodeon Studios at Universal Studios, Florida.
Now, if you remember your history, right? That ending was on every Nickelodeon show because Nickelodeon and Universal, they had a contract where they had to promote it 1,000 times a year. So most of the time there will be ending credits, but also too, when you watch those Nickelodeon shows, sometimes the grand prize will be a trip back to Universal Studios Florida, which you're thinking, why in the world would you give away a trip to where you are now? But what's good for the goose is good for the gander because you're already there, for one. Number two, it's a great advertising tactic to say to the general audience of, hey, if you come down here and perform on Nickelodeon show and win, you can win a free trip back here. But also number three, it kept Nickelodeon Studios in the algorithm of the people. Before the algorithm of the internet, it was an algorithm of the people and what they cared about. So that's why we have talked about Nickelodeon Studios many times before that. There's a purpose there. There's a reason why they have not torn that down. They just need the right thing in there. So we have done plenty of lives on that. Attraction ideas, okay? Moving on.
Hollywood Drift roller coaster, it kind of seems like if we are going to get that building looped into the parks, it seems almost inevitable it is going to be a part of Universal Studios Florida, given the proximity and the fact that this coaster is going to be more or less blocking that pathway that once connected the two parks. But maybe, just as I was, short-sighted in saying that Toon Lagoon was fine being at the bottom of this list, in spite of the fact that it's the only other Islands of Adventure on here, perhaps there are actually other projects at Islands of Adventure that could be prioritized over it in the next decade. Perhaps you could be looking at Marvel Superhero Island. Many people have talked about that potentially going away. After all, it's kind of stuck in time. It's owned by Disney Marvel, of course, meaning that Universal can't really make any sort of drastic changes to it. So perhaps that maybe is something that Universal could use as a bargaining chip with Disney, or they could just...
Let me tell you something. That is never happening ever. That ride right there is one of the best rides at that park. And not to mention, too, that park is still attended by many people, right? And when Disney got the movie and theme park rights, not the theme park rights, rather, when they got the movie and television rights for Disney, it's more of the modern Marvel. This is those bold 80s and 90s colors. So it's supposed to be frozen in time, right? So, and not to mention, Universal has that in perpetuity. That means Universal is in control. They're not going to give this shit up. They're not. And if I'm Universal, I would not give it up. They would be stupid to do that. Let's keep going.
Just get rid of it and replace with something else. Maybe Dr. Seuss goes. That's another opening day land that maybe could be in the conversation. And maybe even Skull Island Reign of Kong could possibly be.
When it comes to Dr. Seuss, that's not happening either. And you know why? Because the wife of Dr. Seuss worked it out with Universal because she wanted, Dr. Seuss to be in a theme park. And so once again, Universal comes through to save the day. They sat down, they talked with the wife, they went over everything just like J.K. Rowling for Harry Potter, and then that came to be. So no, that won't happen. Skull Island Reign of Kong. I feel like, Kong is such a huge franchise that based on the validity of that brand is not going anywhere. I'm sure that there's another adventure franchise that could go there. But the biggest thing with rides and attractions is the reason why some rides and attractions don't leave for a good while is either because there's a fandom there, is a good people eater, or they don't know what to do, so it's better to just leave it. Just keep it in a buck. Let's keep going.
Something that Universal looks to get rid of at Islands of Adventure. After all, they're closing its sister attraction, which opened up 2 years after it, mind you. in Universal Studios Florida with Fast and Furious Supercharged. So why not look to get rid of that in the 2030s? And you know what? Sure, you want to sit here and make the argument to say, hey, Toon Lagoon should stay ahead of these. Go ahead. But the bottom line is, it does not matter. You want to know why? It's because all of these projects, every single one I just listed, is a deal that Universal has in perpetuity. We often talk about Marvel being a contract that Universal has in perpetuity, meaning that the contract never expires unless Universal themselves opts to end it. But Marvel is not alone in this. Did you know that the theme park rights for Dr. Seuss are also in perpetuity? Even though Universal lost the film rights for Dr. Seuss to Warner Brothers, who is finally making their first movie with those rights this year, it doesn't change the fact that Universal could do whatever they want from a theme park rights perspective, because they literally can't lose the rights unless they get rid of the land themselves. And then King Kong, well, actually, folks, I kind of lied here. King Kong actually is not a contract that was signed in perpetuity, because you know what? There is no contract. King Kong is a part of the public domain, meaning that Universal can use King Kong forever and can use them however they want. There is no rights holder for King Kong. So ultimately, here's the big issue for Toon Lagoon. I mean, not only is it a third-party...
And not to mention, too, that is a strategy that Universal could do, is go to the public domain, go to a website that, you can find different characters that are available through public domain. Public domain means you can use them in any way you want to. Just like Steamboat Willie is now available in public domain, because that has lapsed. Now, Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse is not in the public domain. That's Disney. You do something wrong to Mickey, Disney's gonna be on your ass. Okay, so listen, moving on.
Property that they have to pay licensing fees for, that obviously they don't have to do for King Kong and many other properties that they actually own. But unlike other third-party properties that were signed in perpetuity, their contract actually comes up for expiration in 2029. The big deal surrounding that, meaning that Universal has to actually make an active decision to decide to keep it. That's a big difference versus having a land where the contract never expires, so you can just sit back and say, hey, I'm just not going to touch this. I'm actively deciding not to do anything here, versus actively committing to 10 more years of keeping that land. Universal can up and leave and get rid of Dr. Seuss and Marvel whenever they feel like it. Whereas Universal in 2029, that is their out. If they don't take it, they are stuck with it for another 10 years. That's the bottom line. Should Universal choose to renew it, not only would Toon Lagoon be 40 years old by the time the contract presumably comes up for expiration in 2039, which is just crazy to think, but also it would also mean that Universal would have to find a new project for Islands of Adventure after Lost Continent, because presumably the replacement for Lost Continent should start ideally either sometime this year or hopefully early next year at the latest. Please, fingers crossed, we're waiting like years for this. And if it does indeed start at that time, we should see the replacement open in 2029, which actually would be perfect timing to start work on a Toon Lagoon replacement. Otherwise, if they don't, they'll need to find something else to do at Islands of Adventure in the 2030s. Sure, it is true that Islands of Adventure does not need to be the priority of investment in the 2030s. Obviously, Studios needs a massive overhaul. Epic Universe needs more capacity, needs to start using some of that expansion land. But are you really going to sit back and do nothing with Islands of Adventure after the Lost Continent for the next decade? If Universal actively chooses to commit to Toon Lagoon for 10 more years after 2029, they need to come up with something that Islands of Adventure can get in that decade. Going a whole decade without any investment would be crippling to the park. In spite of the fact that it is already a high-quality park, there's no question about it. The bottom line is that this is a park that got 2 back-to-back absolutely stellar coasters in Hagrid and Velocicoaster. And after just 4 years of no investment into that park, because they've been working on Studios and obviously Epic Universe, the park has now fallen behind Universal Studios Florida in attendance, even though we're sitting here.
Now, when you look at that number, are they really falling behind 9.4 to 9.5 million? Come on now. They're not falling behind. They're stable. Now, listen, this is Attraction Ideas point of view, but I mean, come on. Falling behind would be if Universal Studios Florida was at 9.5 and then we went down to 5.4 million. That would be falling behind. But this, very minuscule. Let's keep going.
Here right now saying, oh, Universal Studios Florida needs a lot of work. It still is the more attended park over Islands of Adventure because Islands of Adventure has not been receiving recent additions or investment. And I think it's honestly kind of foolish to think that in spite of how grand and big and massive and popular the replacement to the Lost Continent is, even if it is Pokemon, the highest grossing property in the world, I don't really care. It doesn't change the fact that you can't go a decade without putting anything in the park and not expect to see some attendance drawbacks and see it start to dwindle over time if you don't do anything. So are we going to sit here in 2029 and say, you know what, I'd rather get rid of Marvel and hand that back to Disney for free?
That's not happening.
Relatively popular. Am I going to really go ahead and get rid of Dr. Seuss, which is easily enough one of the most beloved kid franchises in the world and is still getting films made to this day by Warner Brothers? Or am I going to go ahead and get rid of King Kong, one of the most well-known properties of all time that's literally been around for 100 years, in a ride that is almost 2 decades younger than Toon Lagoon? As much as I love Toon Lagoon, as much as I'm sure many of the people working at Universal love Toon Lagoon, I just can't imagine they could, in good faith, make that decision to say, yep, we'd rather extend Toon Lagoon 10 years and get rid of one of these things than just suck it up and get rid of Toon Lagoon when the contract expires. I do truly believe that if this contract was not coming up for expiration in 2029, that Toon Lagoon could stick around for significantly longer. It's just a case of bad timing and bad luck on behalf of Toon Lagoon that unfortunately I do think it will ultimately bite the dust in 2029. And when that does happen, the big question is going to be, well, what replaces it? Or I guess I should say, do you want to replace it or do you want to retheme it? Because again, what is the strongest asset that Toon Lagoon currently has to its name? It's the rides. Even though the properties that those rides are based on are relatively unknown to the average guest, those rides still pull consistently high wait times and are beloved by the average guest. Not only that, but obviously because they are water rides and they're tied into the lagoon itself in the middle of the park, maybe getting rid of them would not be necessarily worth its weight in gold because it would be very expensive to do so and would maybe require a lot of heavy lifting and difficult work to sort of shore up the line between the existing parklands and the lagoon itself, and a lot of like nasty water management stuff that not only would take a long time, but would also be rather expensive to do. Maybe it just makes a lot more sense to keep these rides in place, give them a nice tune-up, a nice upgrade, and a massive overhaul with a new theme. I think there are many properties that could work. Obviously, one that's been tossed around a billion times is SpongeBob. And I mean, obviously, retheming a water ride to SpongeBob is about as easy as it gets. And it's also undeniable that a Krusty Krab selling Krabby Patties would make Universal a literal boatload of money. Alternatively, I think the timing of this in 2029 would actually allow Shrek to become a possibility. Obviously, Shrek used to be at the parks with Shrek 4D and then came back as a minor player in DreamWorks Land in 2024. I could see Shrek getting a full-on land in Islands of Adventure post the release of Shrek 5 in 2027. Should that film be popular and successful, it would be a great pick for Universal as far as
Now, Phil, if you're still here, brother, and Florentin, I know you'll be watching on the replay. How many times have I said that shit? That is far, far away land at Universal Studios Singapore. Okay, they have Shrek 4D inside the castle. Personally, if you're going to build that big of a castle, it should be like Sleeping Beauty Castle. You should be able to go to Fiona's room. You should be able to go to Shrek's room. You should be able to have dinner in the castle. It should be a multi-sensory, multi-space, everything, right? But I have said the exact same thing, that depending on the success of Shrek 5, be ready for Universal to invest that into the parks. Be ready for that. It's just like when Mark Woodbury, stirred up the pot and said that Wicked is a theme park waiting to happen. And he should not have said that because he knows we're the bosses. So, of course, well, you said it, so it's happening. If you don't want us to use information against you, then don't give us anything. But, of course, we're glad that they do give us stuff because we get to play them with their own, energy. Let's keep going.
Placing a family-friendly land with another family-friendly property that in this case, they actually fully own. Obviously, you could put Shrek in there as a complete replacement for Toon Lagoon and just bulldoze the rides, and that would make a lot of sense. You do a little bit of a far, far away land, and boom, you're done. Or if you do want to do a retheme, I think that still works with Shrek. It just had to be themed more to his swamp, which, of course, I think it's not really that much of a jump to say, hey, you're going to have a log flume in a swamp or a raft ride in a swamp. I don't think any of that is far-fetched whatsoever.
Yeah.
Obviously, the only issue is that obviously in DreamWorks Land right now, we already have Shrek's home. So you maybe have to work that out logistically, but otherwise, I do still believe that Shrek is a worthy retheme option for Toon Lagoon. But one other one that's come up recently that I just want to kind of mention briefly that is just interesting based on the location is DC Comics. Obviously, we have some reporting that's come out sort of strangely that Warner Brothers is actively pursuing Universal to get DC Comics into their parks, which is strange because obviously DC Comics is already featured at Six Flags. And also is weird because usually Universal is the one that is courting other studios to use their properties, not the other way around. Usually it's not, third-party studios begging Universal and groveling at their feet to use their properties. But clearly, Warner Brothers wants very similar treatment to what Marvel is getting, I guess, in both Disney and Universal. And I can't help but think that this would actually be a great location for a DC Comics land, given that it literally borders Marvel Superhero Island. I mean, that would be just amazing to be able to go from basically the world of Marvel into Gotham City or Metropolis in just a few steps. That's kind of wild. And I know you're thinking logistically, I don't know if that could happen. And you know what? That is a whole nother video, folks. So we'll get to that another time. But I just want to kind of drop the seed that could potentially be an option. But folks, let's not forget just how massive the land is that Toon Lagoon takes up. It is the third largest land in Islands of Adventure, only behind the Wizard World of Harry Potter Hogsmeade and Jurassic Park at 12.6 acres. Should you choose to replace the land and bulldoze it to smithereens, that is limitless potential, whether you're doing DC or any other property. But here's the thing. I'm sort of skeptical that even after you do Toon Lagoon, that Universal is going to want to touch anything else in this park. Everything else in this park is rather sacred, I think, at the moment. I don't think they're going to want to get rid of Dr. Seuss. I don't think they're going to want to get rid of Marvel. I don't think they're going to necessarily want to get rid of King Kong, at least this early. So my proposal is take this currently massive land and split it in two. Keep Dudley Do-Rights and Popeyes intact, retheme them, and have that north part of the land be rethemed to something like SpongeBob or some other property that makes sense. And then the south part, that 4 acres that's left over, use that for a completely new land from the ground up that could be themed to literally anything you want. And make no mistake, folks, 4 acres is still a sizable amount of land. Yes, it would be the smallest land in this park, with the exception of Skull Island, which is less than 3 acres in size. But you would be able to fit a mighty large attraction in there. And maybe if you were able to scale back on that a little bit, could maybe even fit in a show, maybe keeping the current Toon Lagoon in theater and maybe actually putting it to use for an active show. This way, Universal can get 2 lands for the price of 1, 2 marketing opportunities for the price of 1, 2 new target audiences and new brands and franchises to feature in the park for the price of 1. This way, not only is Toon Lagoon just the next project up at Islands of Adventure after the Lost Continent, it is the full entree for what can satisfy Islands of Adventure for the entire decade up until 2040. But those are just my ideas. So why don't you go ahead, let me know what you guys think in the comments. And if you're interested in hearing more contract talk surrounding Universal and potentially the future or lack thereof for The Simpsons over in Universal Studios Florida, click the video meter screen right now, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Well, there it is there. Thank you, Attraction Ideas. Listen, my thoughts will be too much for your comment section. So now I'm actually going to just present some solutions. So the first one that we're going to do is going to involve a good friend of the Mushroom Kingdom. If you know Super Mario 64, you might know where I'm going with this. Let's roll it. He just attended the wedding. That's all he was trying to do. But that is King Bomba Bomb from Bomba Bomb Battlefield in Super Mario 64. So the first idea I have to infuse Toon Lagoon is a Bomba Bomb crossover. Let's get to it. So here's a cohesive, creative vision for what Toon Lagoon and Isles of Adventure could become for playful Nintendo Bomba Bomb infusion. Not a full takeover, but mischievous cross interacts with the existing classic cartoons rather than replacing them. So overall look and feel, cartoon chaos meets Mushroom Kingdom mischief. The land keeps its hand-painted comic strip aesthetic, exaggerated sightlines, and war-soaked slapstick, but now the Bomba Bombs have clearly wandered in and made themselves at home. Oh, we're about to have some fun. Yes, indeed. So now the Bomba Bombs appear as living cartoon props, waddling across rooftops, peeking out barrels, snoozing near fountains. Now, the black ones, you know, they do explode, but the blue one, not the blue ones. Yes, no, there are blue ones. Yes, the blue ones and the pink ones, they are friends to Mario. Okay, but let's keep going here. Snoozing near fountains, there are few sparks as a kinetic visual gags, lighting lamps, setting off harmless splash effects, or triggering pitfalls. Everything feels anime as the land itself is one giant living comic panel. Think classic newspaper comics colliding with Nintendo whimsy. So when I was thinking about this, I'm like, okay, how can this work, right? Because the Bomba Bombs are not the star. They're just amplifying what Toon Lagoon is about. So the Bomba Bomb is Chaos Callus, not the star. Rather than centering land on Bomba Bomb, they function as agents of cartoon mayhem, naturally sliding into Toon Lagoon's DNA. Bomba Bombs don't explode. They create water geysers, confetti pops, spinning signs, sudden pitfalls. Visual language stays comedic, never destructive or realistic, right? Because as we know in the world today, right, you see the world outside. So I was kind of debating on bringing this, but if they could feature King Bomba Bomb in a kids animated movie, then I think we're a-okay to bring it over into a theme park. And yes, King Bomba Bomb will be walking around Toon Lagoon. Okay, you will get to meet him in person in a meet and greet. Okay, listen, I'm very excited that this could be a very real possibility. Very excited. Let's keep going. Like I said, we got tons of ideas tonight. So I was talking with Phil. I'm like, should I just stick to 2 or 4? And believe me, this is not the only one. You like I said, some of these are going to be expected, some of these are going to be unexpected. But let's keep going. So right here, ride and attraction integrations, Popeye and Orlo's Blige Rap Barges, new layer Bomba Bomb Harbor Havoc. Bomba Bombs float in water like rubber ducks from Riders Pass. Bomba Bombs trigger Mega Splash cannons. Olive Oil shouts out warnings as Bomba Bombs waddle into Bobo's traps. Final Gap Bolo tries to weaponize Bomba Bomb. It backfires, a massive soaking moment. Classic Popeye Chaos. Nintendo timing. Okay, gotcha. As many as you like. If you don't mention something, I'll pitch it to you. Understood. Then you got Do Rights Rips Off Falls. New story beat the Bomba Bomb bootleggers. Bomba Bombs mistakenly joined Snidely Whiplash scheme. Fuse sparks light TNT signs labeled "Do Not Light." Dudley slides down the slopes, yelling, "That little cannonball is not licensed." The final drop. The Bomba Bomb waddles toward a do not push button. Dudley dies, splashdown triggered by a fake Bomba Bomb pop. So the Streetmosphere and interactive gags. So Nintendo and cartoons like gags. Popeye lifting a Bomba Bomb and drops it, instant splash. Dudley using Bomba Bombs as paperweights. Bomba Bombs dressed in Toon Lagoon costume, sailor hats, and RC MP helmets. Guest interaction. Pressure plays Bomba Bomb stop, looks a guest, and then triggers effects. Crank wheels, spin the fuse, active water sprays or sound effects, and augmented reality. Universal app Bomba Bombs chase guests on screen, interacting with cartoons. Merchandise and food integration. Retail Bomba Bomb plush styled like comic characters. Crossover. Popeye and Dudley reacting to Bomba Bombs. Wind up Bomba Bombs that squeak instead of explode. Dining Bomba Bomb boomers popping candy desserts. Fuse lit float sodas with dry ice bubbles. Comic panels on trays explain today's explosion gag. So why this works strategically? Good damn. Keeps Toon Lagoon alive without erasing its identity. Introduces Nintendo energy outside of Super Nintendo world. Appeals to nostalgic adults, classic cartoons, and younger guests with Nintendo characters. Reinforces Universal's shared cartoon universe philosophy. The vibe, in one sense, Toon Lagoon becomes a living crossover comic strip where Nintendo Bomba Bombs roam freely, accidentally triggering the greatest slapstick war gags Universal has ever built. So let's keep going. Well, first of all, y'all type in the chat what y'all think about this idea, because there is more to come from this. But I really was debating on doing this one, but I was just like, to see King Bomba Bomb in person, and to see the blue and the pink Bomba Bombs walking around, and like, wow, them engaging with the cartoons is really cool. I also thought about Looney Tunes, because they have different gags, right, that they interact with. So I thought that would make a lot of sense for the audience to understand. So here is a fully designed park ride concept for a brand new Bomba Bomb mini attraction that fits naturally inside Toon Lagoon while adding Nintendo energy without overpowering the land. So Bomba Bomb Splash and Dash Factory, Toon Lagoon interactive water play mini attraction type, walk through ride adjacent interactive experience, small, can fit between existing buildings or replace a minor show pad. Ride time 4-6 minutes, continuous flow, target audience all ages. So the story premise is a shipment of Bomba Bombs that accidentally arrived at Toon Lagoon's old cartoon waterworks factory. The Bomba Bombs think they're helping power the land fountains, but their timing is terrible. Guests are invited inside to help regulate the factory before the Bomba Bombs trigger the ultimate cartoon splash sequence. Spoiler, they absolutely will. Exterior design, cartoon industrial mayhem, a crooked brick factory with spinning gears, leaking pipes, painted on cracks and wobbling smokestacks, a massive sign, Bomba Bomb splash control, do not press anything, Bomba Bombs visible through windows, tapping pipes, lighting fuses, and accidentally trickling sprays outside. Periodic exterior splash effects soak passersby, advertising the fun guest experience breakdown. The queue, the fuse, corridor, Bomba Bombs wander along overhead tracks. Animatronics freeze when guests approach. One Bomba Bomb whispers, "Uh-oh," in a cartoon voice. Interactive gag step pads that activate small mist bursts. Fuse countdown lights that always stop at the last second. May experience splash factory floor. Guests enter a central open room, multiple interactive stations, Bomba Bomb control panels, big red buttons, label emergency shutoff. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Absolutely not. Do not touch. Pressing buttons causes overhead water cannons, floor jets, spinning water fans. Every choice is wrong comedically. Crank the fuse stations. Guests turn hand cranks to slow Bomba Bomb fuses. Bomba Bombs react, speed up, reverse, fall asleep. Outcome, randomized water gag every time. High re-ride value. So then you have the Bomba Bomb pop-up zones. Bomba Bombs waddle into marked zones. Instead of exploding, they pop into geysers, confetti, water bursts, rotating splash rings. All effects are playful and never startling. Finale, the Big Toon splash. The cast member for pre-recorded cartoon announcer shouts. Everybody freeze. Too late. A giant Bomba Bomb waddles onto a platform. Fuse lights drum roll. Massive overhead splash current drenches everyone. Bomba Bomb reappears, floating in a bubble, waving. Exit door opens as water drains dramatically like a comic panel wipe. So that's an all-new little mini attraction to showcase that the Bomba Bombs are here. You know what I mean? To be a part of this amazing land here. Visual style, entire attraction looks hand painted. Thick black outlines exaggerate perspectives. Bomba Bombs, excuse me, y'all, sorry. Redesigned slightly to match Toon Lagoon's ink-tap stack. Sorry, so sorry. Nintendo character integrity remains intact, but stylized for the land. The sound design, squeaky footsteps. Fuse sizzles sync to line, slide whistles, cartoon boings and splashes. No realistic explosions ever. So why does this mini attraction work? High capacity, low footprint, no height requirement, naturally fits Toon Lagoon's water DNA, introduces Nintendo IP without needing Super Mario World scale, perfect surprise soak attraction, guests discover organically. So one line pitch, Bomba Bomb splash and dash factory is a living cartoon gag where guests tried to stop Bomba Bombs from causing chaos, accidentally make Toon Lagoon wetter than ever. Yes, indeed. So this right here is a meet and greet gag. It's called Bomba Bomb Hover Nation, a living cartoon photo gag meet and greet. Location adjacent to the main attraction, exit or tucked in a Toon Lagoon alley. Experience length 16 to 90 seconds per group. high continuous flow, rapid reset, tone, silent film slapstick plus Nintendo mischief. So guests are invited to post a blah bomb that's clearly about to go off, but never does, but absolutely tries. Exterior setup, a crooked photo op platform labeled official bomb safety holding zone. Warning signs, smile quickly, fuse times may vary, absolutely fine, probably. A cartoon fuse timer sign that visibly counts down then resets. Bomb can be seen waddling behind frosted glass, tapping on it impatiently. The meet and greet character. So this right here is really cool. So the Bomb live perform more advanced animatronic, classic round Bomb design, oversized eyes for exaggerated reactions, light up fuse for cartoon spark effects, silent character, communicates through head lips, foot stomps, panic, waddles, and freeze frame poses. No dialogue, universal humor. The gag flow, beat by beat, a Toon Lagoon safety assistant tells guests just hold Bomb still for the photo, very still. Bomb nods very nervously. The fuse moment as guests pose. Give me one moment, y'all. Oh man, okay. Ooh, sorry. Sorry, y'all. Oh my god. Hang on, I'm coming back on camera just a second. Ooh, I did not need to see that live. Listen, it is all good in the neighborhood. Okay, hi, I'm back. So, as guests pose, fuse lights with a sizzle, Bomb eyes widen. Bomb taps guest's shoulder and points at the fuse front where it says, "Don't worry, this is the safe one." The fuse speeds up. Then the fake out. Right as the photo snaps, the Bomb strikes a heroic pose. Fuse hits zero. Pop. Harmless mist burst, confetti water spray, silent whistle sound. Bomb instantly reappears fine, soaking wet, and gives a thumbs up. The photo captures peak chaos. Photo output guests receive a comic panel style. Photo frame on-screen captions like, "This was a bad idea. Why did we agree to this? Bomb approved." Optional animated GIF version where the fuse lights mid pose. There is a rapid reset trick behind the scenes. Multiple Bomb units rotate. One exits soaking wet. Another rolls in already armed. Continuous throughput, no downtime, environmental gags while waiting. Bombs wander past windows with different fuse links. One tries to hide behind a trash can. Another blows a whistle when a guest smiles too late. Why this being agreed is a win, doesn't allow dialogue, perfect for all ages, creates viral meme ready photos. Adds Nintendo pressure without overpowering the land, reinforces Toon Lagoon's everything goes wrong comedy loop. One sentence pitch, Bomb hope for detonation turns a simple character photo into a perfectly timed cartoon disaster, captured forever in a single glorious splash. There is the visual. So imagine the Nintendo Bombs in Toon Lagoon, y'all. When I saw this, I'm just like, oh my god. Let me tell you something. People will be flocking to that thing because when you think about cartoons and Dynamite and how long Dynamite has been in cartoons, it's a perfect correlation, right? So I'm very proud of this one. This is the first idea. Yeah, I know, right? Look at how real that looks. Like, you see Popeye holding one. You see, Dudley there. You see Olive Oil. Watch out. So very, very interactive, and I wanted to bring some life to Toon Lagoon. I don't think that Toon Lagoon needs to go away. I just think it just needs to be infused with something that brings out those characters. And hey, who knows? Because Nintendo is a video game company, maybe all the characters can get new video games, huh? I'm just saying. Listen, this is what we do over here. We provide solutions. And of course, a press release as well. So that is the very first idea I have, but that's not the only one. Oh no. So, like I said, first one, bomb. This one, I was trying to see if there is a book series that maybe hasn't gotten the time of day, but could really be something special. So let's go with that right now. Here we go. So there is a book, CFME book, so we can all look at the cover real quick. Give me a moment. So this book right here, everybody. So the City of Ember is a post-apocalyptic science fiction book created by Gene Perdue, published first in 2003 about an underground city built to save humanity, which is now facing a crisis as lights and supplies dwindle. Two teenagers, Lena Mayfleet and Dune Harrow, discover 7 instructions left by the city's original builders, must decipher them to find a way to escape and save their dying world. The book is the first in the series of Ember. The book is the first in the Books of Ember series and was adapted into a 2008 film starring Sunrose Rowan and Bill Murray. So when we look at the cover here, I thought to myself, there has to be something here for Toon Lagoon. Because when you think about cartoons, right, and you think about the wacky wildness and silliness, cartoons have to, light up, right, especially at night. So I thought this would be a great way that Toon Lagoon can be at night, because there are pictures of Toon Lagoon at night. So give me a moment on that. So as you can see, and this is how my mind works, it's like, okay, what's the other side of this, right? And so when I saw the City of Ember, even though it's a post-apocalyptic book series, I was like, the Ember, the lighting and everything else, I'm like, this could be a read thing for Toon Lagoon. So let's get into that now. So here is a themed vision breakdown what Toon Lagoon at Universal's Islands of Adventure could look like if it was infused with the Sea of Ember mythology while still letting the classic cartoon chaos breathe. The big idea, Toon Lagoon becomes the surface above Ember. The land is reimagined as a sunlit cartoon city unknowingly built atop the forgotten underground world of the Sea of Ember, from the Sea of Ember and the wider books of Ember. The result, bright Connect cartoon waterfront energy, cracked streets, glowing fixtures, and the mechanical remnants of Ember beneath. A constant push and pull between chaos, the tunes, and survival ingenuity, the Ember. Land aesthetic and environmental storytelling, visual layering. Cartoon facades, oversized, colorful rubber hose style, surface Ember glow leaking through sewer crates, cracks and drains, flickering Ember generator lights hidden behind Toon billboards, steam vents releasing warm air like Ember's ancient pipes. At night, the land comes alive with warm amber lighting pulses like Ember's falling generator, cartoon neon signs flicker and misbehave, shadows reveal gears turning beneath the city. Oh yeah, I did not play with. I don't play with any of the pitches, but with this one, I'm just like, I could so see this because what Universal has always done was they understood that kids grow up, but while they grow up, they still would like to be a kid from time to time, and they do a very good job of that. Let's keep going. So then you have the character interactions. The Toons meet Ember. The Toon characters discover Ember. Popeye mistakes Ember tech for Spanish-powered machinery. Dudley Do-Right treats Ember instructions as safety manuals. Betty Boop performs near glowing Ember light that syncs to music. Ember presence not intrusive. Animatronic Ember scouts occasionally appear in windows or tunnels. Ember senses are never loud or slapstick. The contrast, the Toons hidden messages, symbols, and pipe work reward observant guests. Okay, all good, brother. All good. So here we are with the ride attraction overlays for the city of Ember here. So Popeyes and Bolo's Blight Rat barges, Ember flood protocol activated. The river ride flows through collapsed Ember tunnels. Emergency lights flicker as water surges too close to the generator. Cartoon gags as serious Ember stakes coexist. Pipes burst, warning signs. Popeye fixes things by accident. Dudley Do-Right rips off balls, escape from the Ember Reservoir. The flume becomes a last-ditch water release system. The final drop represents escaping upward to the surface. Ember machinery strains as Dudley saves the day incorrectly. Interactive water play areas. Ember maintenance zones. Cranks, valves, pressure wheels control. Water jet, steam bursts, light intensity. Kids unknowingly keep Ember alive through play. So this is really cool because, as Attraction Ideas said, that this is known for water. It is a part of the lagoon. So bringing in the city of Ember would actually expand the interactivity and the connectivity of the lagoon. New experiences, Ember Discovery walkthrough, new attraction, a shaded walkthrough beneath Toon Lagoon. Now, I don't think they can really do it beneath Toon Lagoon, so this would be like above, like maybe an Ember Discovery Museum, you know what I mean? But let's keep going. Yes, explore, generator rooms, message to map rooms, ends with an elevator back to the surface, retail and food. Supply exchange, Ember Survivor gear meets Toon merch, blueprints, glowing trinkets, light bulbs, and gag tools, food, hearty Ember rations with cartoon names, warm bread, stews, and glowing drinks, spinach jokes everywhere. Why this works. Toon Lagoon keeps its identity loud, wet, ridiculous. Ember adds lore, emotional depth, and mystery layer for older guests. Kids see slapstick chaos. Adults and fans see a hidden city struggling to survive beneath laughter. Mm-hmm. The tagline is every city has a story beneath it. So then you have, this is the Toon Lagoon above Ember core thesis. Yes, are walking through a cartoon world for unknowingly built on top of a falling underground civilization, slapstick chaos above, survival drama below. Part 1 land map beat for beat guest journey. Ooh, it's gonna be good. Oh my god, okay. That's gonna be good. Sorry, y'all. Okay, here we go. So you have the transition portal from Marvel Superhero Island. Story beats something's not quite right. Bright cartoon signage begins to crack. Sewer gates emit warm amber light. Faint mechanical hum replaces superhero music. First visible ember glyphs etched into pavement. Audio cartoon music with a low industrial undertone. Number 2, Main Lagoon Promenade. So the story beats the city above the city. Classic Toon Lagoon facades remain exaggerated, colorful. Cracks in sidewalks reveal glowing pipes and gears. Occasional maintenance panels labeled authorized Ember access only. Water sprays are playful. The time to press the surges below. Hidden detail: Ember evacuation arrows embedded in the ground, partially worn away. Number 3, interactive Ember zones midland. The story beat is you're helping without knowing it. Kids spin valves that increase fountain heights, change light and color, trigger steam bursts. Each interaction is secretly stabilizing Ember systems. No scores, no screens, pure tactile play. Number 4, Popeyes and Bulos Blight Rap Barges overlay. Story beat containment, flood containment failure. Q now runs through emergency Ember spillways, falling pressure gauges. Ride includes flashing warning lights, collapsing pipe gags, Popeye fixing a crisis accidentally, final splash, Ember floodgate release. Then you have Dudley Do-Rights rips off falls overlay. Story beat the last way up. Gloom represents a vertical Ember escape shaft, lift hill, water evacuation system, final drop, breach to the surface. Visual contrast, dark industrial accent, blinding daylight at the drop. Then you have the Ember Discovery walk through new attraction. Story beat the truth reveal. Guests descend beneath the lagoon. Explore generator chamber. Message tube network. Maps of the surface world. Guest exit. Exit returns guests to daylight. Reframing the land emotionally. And a new e-ticket attraction, everybody. Here we go. This is Ember Light of the Last City. Trackless dark ride, drop and projection mapping anchors the back of the land. Ride story. Guests are recruited as light bearers set to stabilize Ember's fallen generator and guide citizens upward before the lights go out forever. Ride system. Trackless vehicles with rotational tilt, vertical drop element control, not thrill. First practical sets, projection, real light effects, no screens without physical depth. Ride breakdown scene one, recruitment, citizens explain the falling generator, message tubes, fire overhead. Lights flicker ominously, seen to the pipe network. Vehicles dodge collapsing tunnels, steam, sparks, shaking floors seen through the generator core. Massive rotating light engine guests redirect power via vehicle movement. Sound builds to near silence. Scene for the blackout. Total darkness, single light appears, drop sync or simulate descent. Scene 5, the surface doors open to blinding light. Ember says to see the sky for the first time. Emotional, hopeful, cinematic, not cartoonish. So this is where the lagoon gets that soul, right? You saw Toon Lagoon at night. Here we go. Day, night lighting plan. Day mode, playful ignorance. Bright colors dominate. Ember lights elements are subtle. Lights very visible. Steam minimal. Guests think it's just a cartoon land. Dusk, the warning. The ember lighting slowly intensifies, cartoon lights flicker, mechanical sounds increase, interactive elements respond more dramatically, and then night mode, ember awakens, entire land glows from below, sidewalk cracks emit light, buildings pulse like a heartbeat. Water reflects orange and gold hues at night, ember is the star. Part 4, full universal retheme pitch, why this is a smart move. So this revitalizes Toon Lagoon without erasing it. Existing rides stay. Tone evolves instead of resets. Slapsticks plus stakes equals broader appeal. Adds literary intellectual property without risk. Books of Ember is recognized, underserved in parks, and emotionally rich. No direct character recasting needed. Hey, 5 people, welcome and glad to have you here. 3 people now. Perfect for universal strengths, environmental storytelling, mechanical spectacle, emotional finales, replayability via details, target demographic alignment, kids, war cartoons, chaos, teens, mystery exploration, adults, lore, theme, and emotional payoff. Tagline options: every city has a story beneath it. The lights didn't die way above the labs below the truth. The final verdict. This makes Toon Lagoon relevant again. Introduces a new e-ticket without demolishing infrastructure. Creates one of Universal's most emotionally layered lands, and rewards repeat visits, especially at night. Now, that's the idea. Of course, you know I got a visual for you. Give me a moment. I mean, come on. Come on. This is what we do over here. And not to mention, too, when you think about books, right? You think about Harry Potter and what Harry Potter was able to do for Universal. And now you're bringing in a new layer to these books, right? So the lights above, right? There's a city underneath. It's that immersion of, oh my God, these cartoons have been up here for years, but they didn't know that electricity was coming from below. And so you got, comedic energy with this very deep, empowering, rich storytelling. So that is the second idea there. So the first one was Bomb from Nintendo. This one is the City of Ember. I got another Nintendo one for you. Give me a moment. One moment. Sorry, y'all, I got a phone call there. But what do you guys think about this idea right here? Do you like it? How are you feeling about it? Do you feel like, this this theming of Toon Lagoon, would this actually make sense? Because here's the thing, right? As an artist, when you are going into your creative space, what you may think, right, may not be what is to the people. So I know the Sea of Ember books have been around for a very long time, and this could be an epic universe portal, right? Because imagine a whole city built on light would be amazing at night, and not to mention too, that will actually extend Epic Universe's hours. So Universal, there's an idea there. But since this is Toon Lagoon, we're talking about this here. So, all right, yes, indeed, there's some. The next idea I have. Oh, that's right. I was looking at something. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute. I think that's a gold star. And I haven't seen one. Okay, hold on now. That's the Super Mario Galaxy. And thank you, Mr. Star. I appreciate that. Now, as you can see, that gold star does a lot of damage, right? Yes, indeed. So, I know what you think. Braylon, how is a gold star going to power Toon Lagoon? I'm so glad you asked. I really am. Thank you for asking the question. And let me give you the answer. Yes, indeed. So here it is here. Infusing Nintendo's Gold Superstar into Toon Lagoon will turn the land into chaotic power-up cartoon zone. Instead of replacing the classic comic characters, the Superstar energy spreads throughout the lagoon like a cartoon force that makes everything brighter, faster, louder, and more exaggerated. The idea, a giant superstar crashes onto Toon Lagoon and turns the entire land into a cartoon power-up world. So if you can imagine the damage Mario can do, imagine Popeye with the power-up star. Imagine Betty Boop with the power-up star. So the chaos would be never-ending. Let's keep going. So Toon Lagoon Superstar Splashdown, Nintendo Power Cartoon Playground. The Gold Superstar from Super Mario Brothers has landed into Lagoon, and its invincibility power has caused the comics to go wild. Classic characters like Popeye, Olive Oil, Borlo, Betty Boop, and Dudley Do-Right suddenly gain cartoon superpowers whenever the glowing star appears. The land becomes a hyper-animated comic world where everything is glowing, sparkling, and moving faster than usual. So, land visual transformation entrance portal. The Toon Lagoon arch is cracked open by a massive glowing superstar. Effects gold sparkles rain from the side. Comic Pal bursts glowing in yellow. Musical remix of the Mario Invincibility theme. A sign reads, warning, superstar power surging through Toon Lagoon. Now, did you notice how I took something from Nintendo They just added it. Right now, you could say that, well, Bray, you did the City of Ember. That was a intellectual property that's through the power of books, right? But with Toon Lagoon, they just need that one thing to make the characters be the star, right? So you have Bomba Bombs in the beginning of the show, and now you have, this gold superstar that is just making everything just crazier than normal, right? Let's keep going. So the ride changes. Popeye and Bullow's blight rap barge. This story upgrade. Bullow steals the golden superstar and becomes invincible Bullow. Popeye must eat super spinach to counter the power. New ride gags. Bullow's glowing gold smashing buildings. Popeye moving at lightning speed. Giant spinning comic star spraying water. Invisible sound effect from Mario. Cartoon cannons shoot out sparkling gold mist. Dudley Do-Rights rips off Oz. Story twist. Snidely Whiplash steals star fragments and uses them to power ridiculous inventions. Scenes include rocket power cartoon horses, exploding comic traps, glowing TNT crates, final drop moment. Dudley grabs Superstar, triggering the invincibility theme before taking the plunge. Brand new mini attraction, the Superstar Spin Zone, interactive spinning ride. Guests jump into comedic vehicles like Popeye's tugboats, Baby Blue convertibles, Dudley Do-Right police bikes. Vehicles hit power pads that trigger speed boosts. Cartoon explosion, spinning gold star projections. When the Superstar appears, every vehicle goes into invincible turbo mode. Interactive war gag, Superstar energy causes Toon Lagoon to behave like a video game level. So, of course, Star Block founds guests punch giant question blocks, possible outcomes, splash geyser, gold coin sound cafe, burst spinning star. Now check this out. Invincible street lamps. When the star music plays, the lamps flash rainbow colors. Okay? How cool is that? Comic panels animate war jets fire in rhythm. The dun 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 dun. Character interactions. Characters act like they occasionally get superstar power-ups. For example, Popeye becomes suddenly super fast. Baby Blue sparkles and glides. Burrow temporarily turns gold and laughs villainously. Even Dudley Do-Right accidentally becomes invincible and runs through walls. And not to mention, too, you would actually get to meet the superstar itself in person. I know. Now, no, you do not become amazing when you hug the star. I'm sorry. I know. Listen, I can only do so much here, okay? Listen. I do try my best. Yes, indeed. Nighttime transformation. At night, Toon Lagoon becomes a glowing comedic arcade world. Lighting features golden star projections across the wire, glowing comedic panels, animated light bursts, reading pals, zap and wham. Every 20 minutes, a superstar event happens. Music from Super Mario Brothers plays while the entire land glows rainbow for 30 seconds. Okay? Characters running around acting invincible. So then for the merchandise, shops Superstar Power Emporium. Items include glowing superstar hats, Popeye's Power Spinach energy drinks. That would be smoothies. Okay, no one's going to drink a Power Spinach energy drink. Okay, unless the spinach is green apple because it's green. You know what I mean? So that's just a branding thing. Toon Lagoon Power Plush Gold Star popcorn buckets. The food. Let's get to it. So then you have Wimpy's Power Up Cafe, Menu Gas Superstar Burgers, Golden Onion Rings, Rainbow Power Up Milkshakes, core story, Toon Lagoon becomes a collision of comic strip chaos and video game power-ups. The Superstar doesn't replace the classic cartoons. Instead, it amplifies their ridiculous cartoon physics, creating the ultimate comic book video game playground. Why this works? Uses Nintendo iconography without replacing legacy characters, fits the slapstick nature of Toon Lagoon, creates constant movement energy in the land. I'm just saying. Okay, listen. Y'all want to save Toon Lagoon, so do I. Okay, listen. We are trying our best here. I mean, just imagine that star powering Toon Lagoon in a way that we've never seen before, right? And you kind of notice what I'm doing, right? You know, you got Super Nintendo World, then you have Islands of Adventure, and then if you think about the Rainbow Road roller coaster, right? And you think about the thank you, good sir. And then you think about the New Donk City Townhall indoor attraction with Pikachu powering New Donk City. You have it at Universal Studios Florida, Islands of Adventure, and Epic Universe. Same strategy that they're using for Harry Potter. Okay. Oh my God. Oh, I'm loving what we're doing. Yes, so we're also going to talk about the e-ticket attractions for each one as well, right? So, and I will just say this: the next one I got in store for y'all. Actually, you know what? I might save that one for that one, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Now, I may not be able to do pictures on everyone because you know how ChatGPT works. There's a limit on photos, but I'm gonna try my best, right? But that's what being a good storyteller is all about, too. Yes. So, Superstar Splash here, e-ticket ride concept, indoor, outdoor, dark ride, water coaster hybrid, themed Nintendo Gold Superstar with Toon Lagoon Chaos. Target audience, all ages with height requirements for water coaster section. Ride duration 5 to 6 minutes. Good. The e-ticket would be good. Yes, indeed. So 1,200 rides per hour. Location Central Toon Lagoon, replacing or retheming a water attraction area. Ride concept story. Guests enter Toon Lagoon to discover that a golden superstar has crash landed is surging through the land, giving cartoon characters temporary superpowers. The ride places guests inside a star-powered adventure. Guests are recruited by Popeye to retrieve fragments of the Superstar before Blodo and the other mischievous characters steal them along the way. Star energy affects everything. Buildings grow, fountains explode, animals and machines come to life, and cartoon physics go wild. Ride concept. Guests board star-shaped rafts of vehicles that move through water-based spinning and dark ride sections, hitting comic book-style powered pads that trigger water sprays, lighting effects, and sound gags. Ride layout and features. So the queue and pre-show, guests enter through a comic explosion entrance, kind of like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, where, you know, the cartoon explodes and then you go through the cartoon strip. With gold star fragments flowing mid-air projection physical props. Queue features interactive screens where guests can punch star blocks to trigger small effects, splash, lights, and sounds. Pre-showroom Popeye explains the mission, while Bulo looms on screen, occasionally glowing gold and laughing. So this would get Popeye and all the characters relevance, and that way the audience can connect with these characters, right? So if the older generation knows the younger generation didn't, then you make circumstances happen where the new generation has a way to connect through a new fashion. Launch section, Star Powered Rapids. It's going to be good. Sorry, y'all. Just saw something that made me very excited. We'll get to that here in a little bit. Rafts glide through a water flume with golden superstar glow effects, fountain and geysers spray sparkling gold mist. Guests hit power-up panels in the water that triggers speed, burst, and spray. Spray jets. Spray jets. Bluto appears in projections, temporarily invisible, chasing the rafts. Cartoon Chaos Zone Dark Ride section. Vehicles enter an indoor section with animated walls, projections, physical props. Features include exploding TNT crates that launch harmless confetti in water. Buildings morph due to star energy. Flying comedic stars that spin around the rafts. Characters like Betty Boop and Dudley Do-Right moving interactively. Guests feel the superstar invincibility with rumble effects in seats and bursts of light smoke. Turbo Star Spin. Guests enter a circular spinning section with rafts going over fast currents and spiraling star effects. Music. Remix of Mars Invincibility themes. Synchronized spinning stars and bursts of light. Interactive power-ups. Guests can hit buttons on the raft to trigger additional light and water gags. Final drop and star finale. A final indoor-outdoor water drop simulating the rafts being catapulted by star energy. Giant star projection in the sky triggers a dazzling light show with confetti, bubbles, and sprays. Popeye celebrates with guests while Blue reluctantly retreats. Visual and sensory design, colors, golds, bright yellows, rainbow glows, and sparkling water, lighting, LED projections, fiber optic star trails, glowing comedic panels, sound, Super Mario Star theme, comedic sound effects, pow, zap, boom, character voices, special effects, water jets, mist, bubble machines, confetti cans, interactive projection triggers. Character integration. Popeye, Bulo, Dudley Do-Right, Betty Boop appear in animatronics projections that allow perform meet and greets. Some sections include temporary invisibility effects for characters, golden glow, fast moving, cartoon physics exaggerate. Right, exit merchandise, gift shops, Superstar Emporium, plushes, glow in the dark, star toys, star power comic books, photo op golden superstar projection with guests and rafts, themes that kiosk, power snacks, golden popcorn, star shaped churros, glowing drinks. Now, why it works, it integrates Nintendo's intellectual property with classic Toon Lagoon characters by replacing them, combines water ride excitement with dark ride storytelling. And you know how many people said, Universal needs more dark rides? We got them. Because it's too hot outside, so we got you for the coolness there. Fully interactive guests feel like they're a part of this star power chaos, highly Instagrammable visual effects, and nighttime effects. So, let's review what we got so far. We got the Bomba Bombs, we got Sea of Ember, and we have the Golden Power-Up Star from Nintendo. Now, this next one, I'm going to have to pull up something real quick. Give me a moment.
Did you ever wonder how Toys R Us and Jeffrey the Giraffe came to be? The son of a bike shop owner, Charles Lazarus, had a vision that would go on to change toy stores forever.
The greatest toy store there is, but I don't wanna grow up, 'cause maybe if I did, I wouldn't be a Toys R Us.
Toys R Us was the dream of Charles Lazarus. May all of your dreams come true too. And the dream continues on with a Toys R Us at every Macy's.
Now I know what you're thinking. First of all, Brain, why are you making me cry? Listen, you saw the thumbnail. You know my voice is dim, and you know why you're here, okay? Listen. In the words of Walt Disney, we are restorers of order, and we restore with imagination again and again and again and again. So, with that being said, how do we bring Toys R Us and Jeffrey the Giraffe to Toon Lagoon? I'm so glad you asked. Let's get to it. A Toon Lagoon Toys R Us infusion will transform the land into a living cartoon toy store explosion where classic comic strip characters discover a giant crate of toys that spill across the lagoon. The tone stays slapstick and comic strip inspired, but now the environment is packed with oversized toys, animated toy gags, and the cheerful presence of Jeffrey the Giraffe interacting with the classic characters. Think of it as Toon Lagoon Toy Box. And need I remind you, this will be the first time that Toys R Us is inside a theme park. Okay? So, Toys R Us, you do this. The company that produces the Sea of Ember books, Nintendo, I can't get on to y'all because, you know, you already work with Universal. But to the book company that does the Ember books, okay? Penguin Random House and Toys R Us. Call me, okay? Listen. I'm not just talking to be talking up here, all right? Let's get to it. Toon Lagoon Toy Box Takeover. Here we go. So, story premise: a shipment meant for a Toys R Us superstore accidentally crashes in Toon Lagoon Harbor. When the crate bursts open, toys scatter everywhere. Cartoon physics takes over. Now, Jeffrey the Giraffe has arrived to help the Toons play. The toys keep causing hilarious chaos. Comic characters from Popeye, Blondie, Dagwood, Bernstein, and Babe Boop interact with giant toys everywhere. Land visual design. The water now contains floating toy boats and rubber ducks. Giant toy packaging crates labeled Toon Lagoon Toy Delivery. Toys R Us float around. Massive Jeffrey statue built from toy blocks stands at the lagoon fountain. There's going to be a Lego master that can do that, by the way. I just want you to know that. At night, the crates glow like toy store display windows. Entry portal. Guests walk under a giant toy store marquee reading Toon Lagoon Toy Box, where cartoons come to play. Decor includes giant Jack in the Boxes popping open toy trains, circling rooftops, yo-yos, bouncing across signs. Jeffrey's cartoon footprints lead guests deeper into the land. So, ride infusions. Dudley Do-Rights rips off Falls. Story: Jeffrey is helping Dudley stop toy bands who are stealing the toy shipment. Broadcasts include toy cans firing water, giant wind-up gear spinning, Dudley riding a rocking horse instead of his usual course. Final drop scene, instantly whip splash is tangled by toy train tracks while Jeffrey saves the toys. Splashdown sign, you've been soaked by the toy box. Then you have Popeye and Burlow's right Blige rat barges. Story Popeye and Blue are fighting over the last crate of Toys R Us toys. New scenes. Blue are firing wire blasters shaped like toy squirt guns. Olive Oil trapped in a giant bubble blowing toy machine. Jeffrey floating by on a toy raft shouting encouragement. So final scene, Popeye eats spinach from a toy lunchbox and triggers a massive splash. New main attraction, Jeffrey's Toy Box Spin, a family spinning ride where guests aboard giant toy cars and toy rockets. Jeffrey stands in the middle, turning a giant wind-up key that spins the ride faster. Soundtrack, playful Toy Story jingles mixed in with cartoon sound effects. So the "I don't want to grow up, I'm a Toys R Us kid" would be sounding in Toon Lagoon. From bikes to trains to video games, it's the greatest toy store there is. Because I don't want to grow up, because baby, if I did, hashtag I wouldn't be a Toys R Us kid. Street interactions, Jeffrey the Draft Beat and Play. Yes, I'm about to applaud myself for that. What do you want me to do with myself? Okay, listen. Walk around. Jeffrey interacts with the cartoon characters. Examples: Dag would try stacking sandwiches taller than Jeffrey. That would be a difficult task to do. Popeye arm wrestles Jeffrey using toy weights. Betty Boop sings with toy microphones. Toy gags throughout the land. Interactive moments include a giant etch-a-sketch windows that redraw cartoons. A Slinky Dog bridge, guests walk across oversized toy blocks that make sound effects with touch. Comedic sound effects pop up everywhere. Boing, spoing, and splash. Restaurants, Jeffrey's Big Toy Box Cafe, toy store themed restaurant menu items, Jeffrey's Giant Pretzel, Toy Box Pizza Wheels, and build your own lunchbox meals. Tables look like toy packaging. And then right here, Jeffrey's Convenient Toy Emporium, a cartoon Toys R Us store inside Toon Lagoon, features exclusive Universal toys, retro comic strip merchandise. Giant Jeffrey animatronic greeting guests every 15 minutes. He says, "Remember, kids, toys make every adventure bigger." Then for the nighttime look, at night the land transforms into a glowing toy wonderland. Line includes neon toy colors, light up toy trains, Jeffrey's Star logo projected onto the lagoon. Final gag, a Jack in the Box pops open across the wire every hour. Then you have why this works. This fusion works because toys match cartoon physics. Jeffrey's a friendly mascot who fits comedic humor. Toy props create interactive elements. It naturally expands retail opportunities. It feels like a cartoon toy store exploded inside the lagoon. Give me one moment, everybody. Okay, that's fine. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm trying to find a way to get visuals for everything, y'all. And I think y'all are going to like what you see. Okay, so just give me a moment. Right? For Toys R Us? Come on now. Okay, all good, my friend. All good. I'm going to finish all the concepts so that way you can have a good replay. But that's what it will look like for Toys R Us there. So, yeah, I know. I know, right? You know, I really want to have fun with Toon Lagoon. It's a great property. And like I said, it just needs the right infusion. That's all it needs. It don't need too much. Universal's not like Disney. Disney needs all the fucking help it can get. Once again, it is allergic to creativity. And Imagineering is sucking ass right now. I can say that. It's freedom of speech, okay? But with Universal, I see my sister now. Braylon, Braylon, you know you can articulate better than that. You ain't gotta say that. Just say they're not at their best right now. But yes, indeed. All right, here is the new e-ticket attraction for the Toys R Us version of Toon Lagoon. I have to ask DreamWorks and Toon Lagoon. You know, I really did try to see if there could be something. And, you know, I don't know. I really do not know if that could be possible. And the only reason why I say that it could not be possible, because, let me see here. Because I did look that up today, right? And the only one I could really think of, right? And you're gonna laugh at me for it. The only one I could think of was Madagascar. That's the only one I could think of. But hey, listen, that would be your task, right? If you want to take on that task. The only reason why I say if you want to take on that task is because I felt like for Toon Lagoon, if I did Madagascar and Toon Lagoon, that it would be too predictable. And I wanted this live to have some moments of, oh, that makes sense. Wait a minute, that don't make no sense, but yet I want it, right? And with Madagascar, because you think of the cartoonish energy of Madagascar and Toon Lagoon, it blends well. All right, so I hope that answers your question. I'm just looking at something there. Okay. So yes, indeed. All right, here is the e-ticket dark ride, everybody. By the way, this will be the first Toys R Us ride in a theme park as well. So a lot of big stuff with Toys R Us here. So guest drink down. I'll play with making part 2 if great. Understood, my friend. Looking forward to that. Jeffrey's Toy Box Adventure e-ticket dark ride. Theme guest drink down to cartoon toy size that enter Jeffrey's oversized toy universe. The mission: help Jeffrey recover scattered magical toys that keep Toon Lagoon in balance, all while experimenting with slapstick chaos and cartoon hijinks. And ladies and gentlemen, I know what you're thinking. Braylon, are you trying to give an answer to Toy Story? Really? Really? You just really didn't think that I just like Toys R Us? I didn't grow up with Jeffrey's Birthday Club, and I didn't spend hours upon hours. I mean, I do really like Toys R Us. I really do. But that just happens to be a part of it. So I applaud y'all for connecting 1+1 and making it 2. Okay, so yeah. But the gag is they sell Toy Story toys at Toys R Us. So there it is. Moving on. Ride type, trackless dark ride with interactive elements, shooters, and physical effects. Ride length, 5 to 6 minutes, 1,200 guests per hour. Queue experience, guests enter through a giant toy store facade, Jeffrey's Toy Emporium. Interactive play areas include oversized etch-a-sketch walls that animate cartoons, stacking building blocks that trigger sound effects, toy trains running through the queue. Anime Jeffrey greets, welcome friends. The toys are scattered everywhere. Can you help me find them? Ride vehicles. Each vehicle is a mini toy truck or train car. Seats 4 to 6 guests. Trackless system that allows dynamic movement, wheeling between oversized toys. Onboard interactive toy blasters allow guests to collect scattered toys. Points tracked in ride photos. So ride scenes, toys, factory chaos scene, giant wind-up toys and conveyor belts are moving uncontrollably. Characters, cartoon characters, Popeye, Baby, Dagwood try to match the chaos. Effects, moving animatronics, conveyor belt vibrations under the ride vehicle, sound effects, changing toys, boings, splashes, bouncing ball bonanza. Seeing oversized rubber balls bounce and roll around like a trampoline-filled room. Now, Phil, I know you have to go. I'm almost done with this. You might want to stay to the end because I got one that's going to blow your mind. It's so good. Hey, Florence, welcome in, good sir. We got so much going on. We're talking about Toys R Us right now. I got a couple of others that you are going to love. So let's keep going here. Effects. Guests feel mild air bursts as balls hit the ride vehicle. Visual anime cartoon characters ride the ball. Slapstick gags everywhere. Jeffrey's Giraffe Garden. Seeing giant plush toy garden with oversized blocks of toy flowers. Interaction. Guests use blasters to catch runaway toys. Animatronics, Jeffrey points to scattered toys, interacts with guests, effects moving flowers, popping Jack in the boxes, playful lying effects, slingshot splash finale scene. Guests enter a lagoon-themed area where toys are floating in water, effects water sprays, mild for fun. Animatronic Jeffrey fires toy cannon to collect the last toys. Trackless vehicle spin for extra cartoon chaos. Found visual, the toys are returned to the storage crate and Jeffrey waves goodbye. Soundtrack audio, playful, upbeat orchestral soundtrack mixed in with toy jingles and cartoon sound effects, boing, splat, pop, voiceovers. Jeffrey, Popeye, Betty Boop, and Dagwood got story arc guests. Post ride exit through Jeffrey's Toy Emporium retail. Interactive photo op guests appear shrunken among giant toys with Jeffrey. Outdoor ride gamification guests see how many toys they collected with their blasters. So let me show you the visual of Toys R Us. Key selling points: immersive cartoon toy world fully integrates Toon Lagoon, slapstick humor, Toys R Us aesthetics, active ride experience, guests actively participate in the story, high re-ride value, different routes, and toy placement, keep it fresh, iconic e-ticket anchor, establish Jeffrey as a full-fledged Toon Lagoon character. Okay, here is the visual. Oh my God! Listen, this is what we do over here. I mean, come on. Yes, indeed. So, and this commercial right here, roll it.
Did you ever wonder how Toys R Us and Jeffrey the Giraffe came to be? The son of a bike shop owner, Charles Lazarus, had a vision that would go on to change toy stores forever.
The greatest toy store there is.
There is, my friend.
I don't wanna grow, 'cause maybe if I did, I wouldn't be a Toys R Us.
Toys R Us was the dream of Charles Lazarus. May all of your dreams come true too. And the dream continues on with a Toys R Us at every Macy's.
Now you notice for Toon Lagoon, I am just not throwing anything in there to make it stick, right? I think you should know by now, with every single pitch that I have given to the culture on our channel here and through BFP Imagineering, it is research, cross-checking, referencing, everything in between, and making sure it fits what we are trying to contribute. Toy Lagoon doesn't need a lot. It just needs that inch added to make it a whole new mile. That's all it needs. Nothing more, nothing less. And there is no way Toys R Us would not say no to this. It will be the first time ever that Jeffrey the Giraffe is inside a theme park. And then, talk about this, Toys R Us can give away free trips to Universal Orlando Resort to go experience Toon Lagoon Playbox, powered by Toys R Us. I mean, I'm just saying. Listen, this is what we do around here. I'm just being fantastic, magical, and just top tier energy in every way. So listen, yes, they will. So the first one, I'll show you. I'm not going to go back through everything, but I'll show you the other ones, right? So we talked about this one here. The City of Ember, which is a book series about this city that's below the ground. And so as the cartoon characters are, creating craziness and silliness, above below is a city powered by light. So that was that one. And then, Nintendo. So I thought, why not do a little something like this? He was just at the wedding. So then here's the Bomba Bomb crossover here. So there's the Bomba Bomb crossover. So the Bomba Bombs have come into Toon Lagoon and is making water explosions and craziness everywhere. So there is the Bomba Bombs. And then, of course, not done with Nintendo just yet. Let me roll this for you. So you're wondering, well, how is that going to work with, the gold star? I got you. And then there is the gold star right there. So we've been having some fun here. Yes, indeed. We got a couple more concepts here. And the last one I'm going to say for the end, because my Lord Jesus, what do I always say? If you understand the moves that are happening around you, you'll understand what you're seeing in front of you. So the next one we're going to go to goes a little something like this.
RoboSapien V2, pre-release testing online, fully functional and good to go. Testing interaction, RoboPet and RoboRaptor.
Hey there, little buddy. Play dead. Good boy. Whoa, look at the size of that thing. Back. Back. I've tamed him. He's safe to approach. Run for your life.
RoboSapien V2 approved.
RoboSapien V2, a fusion of technology and personality. Batteries not included. Each sold separately from WowWee. Who's your daddy?
Yes, we're going to talk about RoboSapien, okay? Yes, indeed, all right? Now, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. How in the world are we going to bring RoboSapien to Toon Lagoon? I got you. And it is a part of Nintendo. It is, but, Toon Lagoon just needs a little bit of energy. And so, should Nintendo characters be the only people to get the star power energy? Why not go over to Toon Lagoon and see what it does there? So, just taking that inch and making it a mile, my friend. Now, let's get to RoboSapien. Everybody, here we go. Listen, that's the first time I've seen that commercial. So, obviously, That will not be asked in Toon Lagoon, okay? That will not be asked in Toon Lagoon. That will not be asked in Toon Lagoon. So to all the single mamas, you're not going to be able to flirt like that with no Robo Sapien, okay? And we know there's some men that like, men too, so, but you won't be able to flirt like that, okay? So let's get into this thing here. Oh, my God. We're live on tour. What do you expect? All right, here we go. So let's paint a picture with Robo Sapien X from WowWee and Fusion. This is going to be part cartoon chaos, part high-tech fun, so I'll break it down to atmosphere, character action, rides, and immersive effects. Overall land atmosphere, tech enhanced Toon vibe, the usual over-the-top, cartoon splashes of Toon Lagoon, bright colors, exaggerated water effects, slapstick props will get a robotic overlay. Think metallic sheen on some of the buildings, neon panels, flash to the beat of Robo Sapien's movement, sound reactive lighting, synchronized to music or guest interactions, interactive zones, Robo Sapien stations where guests could will appear, where guests could trigger robot responses, tap sensors, clap hands, speak commands, see the robot dance, or perform kung fu moves. So that Robo Sapien will actually be in real life in Toon Lagoon. I know, just like you can meet Megatron and Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. Listen, we're trying to save Toon Lagoon here, so I wanted to make sure that when you guys tune into this live, that there will be some options that will be like, oh, that makes sense. But I want some options to be like, wait, huh? How did you get that with that? Don't worry. This is why I do what I do, and this is why y'all do what y'all do and watch. In the words of my man Bruno Mars, don't believe me, just watch. Ha! Yes, indeed. Shout out to Bruno Mars. Well, I'm just saying, right? I mean, if this live was just the typical stuff, you wouldn't tune in, right? I mean, you would still tune in because I'm Braylon Lee, right? But still, let's continue. Here we go. So cartoon and robotic mashups, characters like Popeye, Betty Boop, or Dudley Do-Right could have robotic sidekicks. Imagine Popeye Spanish cans being delivered by a dancing Hobio Sapien, rather. Sorry about that, y'all. That was not trying to do that in any other fashion than Robo Sapien. Or a robot doing backflips during Betty Boop's music number. Live performance robots along the streets, animatronic Robo Sapiens will respond to crowd noise, triggering humorous skits with cartoon characters like a robot trying to rap along with a Toon dog barking rhythmically. Rides and attractions. So Dudley Do-Right rips off falls, water splashes now trigger Robo Sapien reaction sequences. He might do a dramatic kung fu pose as riders pass, or break into a dance as they get soaked. Popeye and Bolo's rap barges, Robo Sapiens could ride alongside the river, reacting to screams and cheers with hip-hop or breakdance routines, creating synchronized robot flash mob on the water. Interactive meet and greets, Robo Sapien station near the Toon Lagoon entrance could rap freestyle guest names or perform impromptu kung fu duels with willing participants, blending high-tech showmanship with classic Toon humor. Immersive environmental effects, sound, reactive lighting, and water. Robo Sapien, not Homo Sapien, sorry. Robo Sapien movement, see? Robo Sapien movements, damn it. Come on, Brain. Robo Sapien movements could trigger nearby fountain splash zones or neon lights, making the environment feel alive and in sync with the robot mini show moments, rather. Small robot bows of dance, rap dance offs with cartoon characters could happen at time intervals throughout the day. Perfect photo ops and viral content moments, interactive props, buttons, levers, and sensors scattered across the land or around the land will allow guests to command a Robo Sapien, encouraging playful engagement. Overall experience, the land will feel like Toon Lagoon meets a futuristic robot playground, keeps the slapstick charm of cartoons while introducing the high-tech interactivity. Kids and adults will both be drawn to the wild chaos and the playful, responsive robots. The mix of kung fu, dancing, and rapping makes it a constantly moving, living stage, blending classic tunes with modern tech toys. So, I do have pictures. So yes, that's how it would look. So yes, robots would be a part of Toon Lagoon. Listen, we're trying to save it, okay? And I do think this would be kind of cool, right? You got these robots like, wait, these cartoon characters are real? Like, wait a minute, what's going on here? So yeah, I thought this would be kind of a cool idea. A bit different, I know. But you think of robots from the Jetsons, right? And those were cartoons, right? Robot cartoons, and robots have been in cartoons before. Even Robots the movie, right? With, God rest his soul, Robin Williams, of course. So robots have been in films for a very long time. They've been cartoons. They've been animated films. So this is not too crazy. Okay? Listen. Moving on. I do. Give me a moment. Okay. All right, buddy. Come on. Okay. Hi. So I am BACK. So for this next one, I don't have a video for you. Well, I mean, I could get you a video, but I think this time I'm going to engage with this live. So let me come on the big screen. This next one, right here. Oh, that's why. Okay. Y'all know green screens and technology, but I think you can kind of see it right there. Wait. Okay, there it is. And right there, this is a Beanie Baby. My family got me this because I was born in August. So you see the prairie dot nose right there. So yes, Beanie Babies in Toon Lagoon, everybody. Yes, that is our next theme there. Yes, indeed. Let's get to it. So this one's going to be a fun one. It's a little bit of a throwback. I know what people are going to say besides Florentin. Now, Florentin, listen, okay? If Disney can have Olaf draw characters when he can't draw, damn it, then Beanie Babies can have a fucking chance. Shit. And Beanie Babies have been loved longer than Olaf's been around, okay? Okay? All right. Okay. Are we really going to do this, Florentin? Huh? Are we really going to do this? Okay. Just want to screw some things up. Okay. Florentin, sir, we suspend belief, okay? We suspend belief. We suspend belief to explore things. Let's do what we do. If Toon Lagoon at Universal's Islands of Adventure received a Beanie Babies infusion, the land will turn to a playful Toon toy box harbor where plush characters accidentally spill into the comic strip world. The humor would come from the soft, cute Beanie Babies trying to navigate the chaotic slapstick comedy of the cartoons already happening in Toon Lagoon. The story, a giant toy crate from TY Factory, Inc., TY Incorporated Factory crashes into the harbor, scattering Beanie Babies across the cartoon world, leading to hilarious interactions with characters like Popeye, Alvo, and Bluto. Now, for those of you going to say that, wait a minute, Bray. You already did this with Toys R Us. Hold on a second. Toys R Us is a brand. These will be actual Beanie Babies in real life, like moving around. So like just imagine this August Prairie Dot actually having real, like actually walking around. Okay, so this is a throwback for those people in the 90s, but also too, it would give Beanie Babies a whole new energy. Okay, so that's the difference between Toys R Us and Beanie Babies. What you are never going to do, that you can't, you won't, and you never will, is check me on what I do. Okay, that listen, there's a lot of things we do around here, but that we never do. But you can disagree with me from time to time, because I don't expect everybody to, agree with me. But when it comes to stuff like this, I've done the research, I've done the work, I've done the going through the minutia of it all. Okay, so odd for the robots, Braylon. Okay, what? I mean, listen, robots have been in cartoons before. Okay, so listen. Wall-E, for example, was an animated movie. We're not doing this, Florentine. No. I joke and kid and play around, Florentine, and love everybody. Yes, indeed. All right, let's continue with this Beanie Baby concept for Toon Lagoon. Here we go. So the look of the land, visually, Toon Lagoon becomes a colorful comic strip toy harbor environment. Giant Beanie Baby tag sculptures hang from lampposts. Thanks for giving me the hype. I'm so honored. No problem. Giant Beanie Baby tag sculptures hang from lampposts like comic speech bubbles. Plush paw prints appear in the pavement as the toys walk through the panels. Oversized stuffed versions of Beanie Baby beanie animals pop out of buildings like cartoon gags. Water splash reveal floating plush toys drifting through the lagoon. Buildings keep their comic strip style, but now have fabric textures, stitching details, and plush scenes built into the architecture. And if you think about the comic strip characters, their clothing is a different fabric textures and stitching details. So we're connecting both worlds there. Okay, let's keep going. So, for example gags, a Beanie Baby octopus tangled in Popeye's dock crane, rather. A plush bear accidentally sitting on Barlow's barbell, cartoon panels showing stuffed animals causing slapstick chaos, ride changes. Lee's Ripsaw Falls. News story: Sidley Whiplash steals a shipment of Beanie Babies to sell them on the black market. We don't like Sidley Whiplash. We need to whoop his ass. And disrespectfully on the double. Dudley must stop him before the plush animals flow down the river. Ride gags, plush animals stuffed into TNT crates. A giant beanie beaver dam blocking the flume. Dudley riding a giant beanie moose like a mount. The final splashdown explodes through a crate, releasing hundreds of animated plush toys, rather. Popeyes and Bullow's Blige rat barges. News story: Bluto accidentally opens up a beanie shipment at the dock, and the animals start running. The harbor scenes include beanie penguins operating water cannons. Plush dolphin squirting riders. Oswald trying to rescue soaked toys. Popeye ends the chaos by sacking the Beanie Babies into a floating toy island. New mini attractions: Beanie Bounce Dock, a small interactive play zone where giant Beanie Babies act like inflatable bouncing pillows. Guests jump on a giant plush frog, a giant teddy bear, a giant whale. Cartoon characters pop out, barrels react to chaos. Metal is bad for Florida. Yeah, I know. But then again, you think about the metal in Marvel Superhero Island, right? So there is that. And not to mention, too, the Hulk coaster is metal. So, So you have the tag toss game, carnival style booth where guests throw rings onto oversized Beanie Baby heart tags, hosted by comedic characters arguing about which beanie is the rarest. Character interactions, meet and greet, comedy moments across the land, possible interactions. Popeye trying to lift a giant beanie elephant, and it's funny because Popeye is strong, but beanies are light. All sewing rip plush toys, below stuffing beanies into a sack like treasure. And of course, Popeye will whoop Boto's ass because we don't do that. Okay, we don't know. That's mean. That's despicable, and that's thirsty toxicity behavior. Okay, beanie mascots roam the land like cartoon animals, like I told y'all. Nighttime look. Here we go. At night, the land glows like a comic strip toy carnival. Lighting features glowing red Beanie Baby heart tags, soft plush texture lying on buildings, projections of stuffed animals jumping between comic panels. The lagoon fountain occasionally shoots water, while a projection beanie dolphin jumps across the harbor. Merch and food. Toy box treats, desserts inspired by beanies, plush, big animals, cotton candy, fur sundaes, hard tag cookies. By the way, the cotton candy is the fur, everybody. So there's not actual fur. Calm down. Thai Harbor Toy Shop, a community toy store where Beanie Babies appear inside cartoon crates. Plush toys hang from fishing nets. Exclusive Toon Lagoon beanies of Popeyes and Dudley and the other cartoons. The overall vibe, the tone will feel like comic strip, slapstick, and toy chaos. Imagine plush toys getting blasted by water cans, cartoon characters arguing with stuffed animals, oversized toy props everywhere. It keeps the chaotic, wet humor of Toon Lagoon, but adds the cute, collectible energy that fans instantly recognize. Now, I know what you're going to say. Braylon, what about Build-A-Bear Workshop? It could work for them too. You do realize just because I don't do everything doesn't mean everything else won't work, right? You do realize that, right? You do realize that, right? You do realize that, right? We've been on for 2 hours, 41 minutes, and 23 seconds pitching concepts. Okay? I got a picture of the Beanie Babies. Give me a moment. Yeah. I know, right? So there is the Beanie Babies there inside Toon Lagoon, making it do what it do. I feel like, Beanie Baby fans would be like, oh my God, I need to book a trip to Orlando immediately on the double. So, and not to mention too, there will, the Beanie Babies are still being produced, but this would give them a new retail outlet like they've never had before. Now, finally, I got one more. Just one more. Just one more. Now I'm going to have to talk through this so that way we won't get this struck down. But let's go. Oh
After
my
a
God.
lifetime of being the world's most famous enemies.
Man, look at those two. Tom and Jerry. A good goodbye there.
Tom and Jerry are about to start over.
Cause that's what friends are
Look
supposed
at
to
that.
do.
Damn.
In the big city.
Oh my God. There's the pigeons.
This hotel has been host to 4 presidents, 3 popes, 2 kings, and we're about to host the wedding of the century.
Do you think you're qualified to take on this position?
I shine under pressure, like a diamond. Or Rihanna.
One other thing.
Rihanna, yes.
We have a mouse problem.
With the what now? I'll catch it, sir.
Everybody gonna shine. I was born like this, don't even gotta try.
Oh, wow, this is so detailed.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Braylon, you have to be out your mind. Is this place not called Toon Lagoon or no? Let's keep going. Oh, excuse me, sorry.
We could hire an exterminator, or we can leverage millions of years of predatory evolution.
Oh, Lord Jesus. There they are! The duo themselves, Tom and Jerry! Oh, I'm loving it.
If a picture of these mouses tweeted off to Instabook Face or TikTok, we will be ruined.
Oh,
No, sir,
my
that's not
God,
gonna happen.
oh my God. Oh my God, that's bad. Oh my God. All friends fight, that's very true. Oh,
I will not let this hotel be ruined by a cat and a mouse.
You're right, Kim Jong. He's dying. Oh my God. That was very hurtful.
I think I might have just pulled this off.
Really?
Blowing up the whole thing. Everybody in the bouncy house go bouncy, bouncy now.
Tom, it's going in badly for you. I don't really think that's a good idea. No. Oh.
Bouncy now.
So the last idea we have here for you all is Tom and Jerry, everybody. Here we go with this one. All right, here we go. A Toon Lagoon infusion with Tom the cat and Jerry the mouse will actually fit the land extremely well. The area already celebrates chaos, slapstick comments like Papa, olive oil, and Bluto. Here's the thing, right? Six Flags has the DC characters and the Looney Tunes. Go on the big screen. DC, Looney Tunes. DC, Looney Tunes. Oh, hey, okay. Phil, I got you. I'm going to get through it so that way you can see the visuals. Wait till you see the visual of this. You're going to lose. I think this might be your favorite one. For real. Let's get back to it. A Toon Lagoon infusion with Tom Cat and Jerry Mouse will actually fit the land extremely well. The area already celebrates slapstick, chaotic slapstick comics like Papa, Olive Oil, and Bluto. So the classic chase dynamic of Tom and Jerry will naturally expand the living comic, the living cartoon strip of the land. Here's the full land experience of what it could look like. Tom and Jerry take over Toon Lagoon. A new comic strip has literally crashed into Toon Lagoon. Panels from the Tom and Jerry world have burst out open across the lagoon, and now Tom is chasing Jerry through everyone else's cartoons. The problem, their chase keeps wrecking the other comics. Popeye keeps getting hit with frying pans. Lil keeps stepping on mouse traps. Olive Oil keeps screaming as Tom crashes through her house. Are basically walking through the world's biggest cartoon chase scene. Visual changes across the land. Giant chase across the skyline, across rooftops and buildings. Tom bursting through walls. Jerry popping out mouse holes. TNT sticks dangling over pathways. Cartoon frying pans swinging on springs. Sound effects play constantly. Boink, crash, spoing. Popeye and Bullo's blight rat barges. Tom and Jerry gags. So the classic raft ride still stars Popeye, but Tom and Jerry sabotage the voyage rather. New ride gags Jerry's Mousetrap Factory. Guests float past giant mousetrap snapping. Tom's water cannon accident. Tom tries to blast Jerry with a hose, but floods riders instead. Blue versus Tom. Blue mistakes Tom for a rat and smacks him with a giant hammer. And of course, Spike. Now that's my boy. Of course, we'll be a part of this. Any way we can get Tom and Jerry in here, of course, we're going to do it. Tom's flattened body slides down a wall like a sticker. Dudley Do-Right rips off falls. Tom's worst day. At Dudley Do-Right rips off falls, the Tom and Jerry story becomes a running gag. Throughout the ride, Tom keeps setting traps for Jerry. Every trap backfires. Tom keeps getting crushed by logs. Before the final drop, Tom lights a dynamite trap. Jerry casually walks away. Boom, riders drop. New attraction, Jerry's Mousetrap Mayhem. A brand new spinning dark ride system while spinning mousetrap vehicles. Jerry has built the ultimate mousetrap maze to stop Tom. Guests ride through giant cheese rooms. Snapping traps, swinging frying pans, exploding fireworks. Tom keeps getting caught in every trap. Bouncing, Tom launches himself with a giant spring and crashes through the exit wall. Like Roger Rabbit. By the way, shout out to La Renee Creole. She is watching Who Framed Roger Rabbit right now. Okay, I just saw the notification on my phone not too long ago. So shout out to her. Like, comment, share, subscribe to that beautiful sister right there. Her real name is La Renee Creole Lee, but you know, we're getting that worked out in the courts. I'm joking. That's not her last name, but it sounds nice though. There goes your Disney Ratatouille competition. You know, my God. Cookies for you, Florentin. Okay, yes, that is a comparison. Okay, but I think Tom and Jerry have a more cultural relevance than Ratatouille. Although Ratatouille is one of the most mature animated films that you will ever see. A very well done, deep concern. Let's keep going here. Kid area upgrade, cheese factory splash zone. The kids' water play area becomes Jerry's cheese factory. Features melting cheese waterfalls, milk ball squirt cannons, butter slide playground, spinning cheese wheels, and Tom Amatrot keeps getting dunked in milk. Which I don't know how that would be a problem because he's a cat, so he drinks milk. But either way. So you actually get to meet Tom and Jerry in real life, but the meet and greet is staged like a live cartoon chase. Jerry signs autographs. Tom sneaks up behind him. Jerry pulls a lever. Pull the lever, Crunk, the other lever. Wrong lever. Shout out to Eartha Kitt. Rest in peace to that beautiful sister there. By the way, as a side note, they should have done a Yzma film with Eartha Kitt while she was still alive. Whoever steps into Yzma, you better motherfucking do it right. That's all I got to say. Otherwise, we're going to have some problems. Not problems, problems. Not problems, problems. Not problems, problems. Moving on. Yes. A giant safe drops on Tom. Foes happen while Tom is flattened. That would take a lot, but it'll probably just be Tom and Jerry in person, right? Nighttime light at night, the land looks like a glowing comic strip. Neon cartoon sound effects, giant moving showers of Tom chasing Jerry on buildings, fireworks popping like cartoon dynamite. Occasionally you'll hear, "Yow!" Tom screaming. So that iconic screen, you will hear that in Toon Lagoon, everybody. Yes, indeed. Why this works for Universal? Tom and Jerry adds one of the most famous cartoon rivalries ever. Timeless slapstick humor, perfect synergy with Toon Lagoon's comedic chaos. And since Warner Bros. Characters already appear in Universal Parks internationally, the crossover wouldn't feel strange. Result: Toon Lagoon becomes an interactive slapstick battle while Tom's endless chase destroys the entire cartoon world. We're going to get to the images here in a minute. I want to do the e-ticket because, like I said, the images are going to blow y'all away. Give me a moment. Here we go. Tom and Jerry's Chaotic Chase. So this is a brand new e-ticket ride. Hybrid dark ride spinning coaster, a mix of indoor storytelling, physical gags, and motion-based thrills. Storyline: Jerry has stolen a huge cheese stash from Tom's pantry. Tom is on a relentless chase through Toon Lagoon, wreaking havoc along the way. Guests join the chase, either helping Jerry escape or watching Tom hilariously fail at capturing him. Act 1. Guests enter Jerry's tiny hideout with oversized cheese wheels. Animatronic Tom bursts in, set off a chain reaction of cartoon traps. Act 2, chaos across Toon Lagoon. The ride spins and tilts as vehicles chase through a stylized Toon Lagoon street scene. Reactive water splashes, bouncing barrels, and swinging frying pans. Act 3, the factory maze. Guests enter Jerry's mousetrap filled factory. Spinning vehicles dodge, snapping traps, falling TNT and paint splashes. Tom repeatedly gets flattened or launched by springs. Act 4, grand finale, multi-sensory climax where Tom gets caught in a giant mousetrap catapult, launching him across the glowing comic strip sky. Guests exit through a giant cartoon panel showing Jerry triumphant. So the ride system, spinning vehicles, 2 to 4 guests per car. Cars can rotate 360 degrees for chaotic chase effects. Trackless motion, vehicles move freely through scenes for dynamic chase paths. Interactive water and effects, squirt cannons, puffs of smoke, falling confetti, and spring-loaded gags for immersive slapstick. Visual design, oversized cartoon-style architecture with exaggerated angles, warped walls, and springy surfaces. Bright primary colors with bold outlines like removed panels. Animatronics of Tom, Jerry, supporting characters, performing slapstick antics in every scene. Motion tracked effects sync with vehicle positions to maximize surprises. Interactive features, interactive button panels. Guests can trigger minor gags like pies flying or barrels tipping. Interactive water and air sprays, light sprays synchronized with scenes. Tom slipping cheat splashes, cannon blast. Night mode LED comic panels in neon, light up in neon colors with sound effects flashing across walls. Boing, zap, and boing. Ride capacity 20 vehicles on track at once. 2 to 4 guests per vehicle. Ride duration 45 minutes. Estimated throughput 1,600 guests to 1,800 guests an hour. Market hood. Join Tom and Jerry in the craziest chase of your life. Dodge traps, slip on cheese, and laugh your way through Toon Lagoon. Well. I keep teasing y'all. Y'all ready? Here we go, everybody. Here are the visuals. Oh my God, everybody. Okay, give me a moment. So there is that one there. Let me see if I can do this here. Oh, really? Come on, man. Okay. That shit. Give me a moment, y'all. Okay. One moment now. Okay, there we go. Give me a moment. Oh, yeah, no. So colorful logo signage, I know. Give me one moment, y'all. I'm going to be right back. Give me one moment, okay? I'm going to be right back. Hey, everybody. Yes, indeed. We are laptop there for a minute. But let me show y'all the pictures here. Give me a moment. So this one here, as you can see, you see Tom and Jerry Mousetrap Mayhem. You see Jerry's Cheese Factory, Deli Do-Right Ripsaw Falls, and the Bull Rat Barges. But this one here is more of a full overview, right? It keeps the Toon name in a new era. Absolutely. That was the main thing I wanted to do with this, was to showcase to y'all that Toon Lagoon has life. It ain't over. It's not dead. It ain't going anywhere. If Universal gives a damn about Toon Lagoon, and they do, they just have to figure out one of these plans and go forth and prosper. That's all they gotta do. So, out of all of these ideas, which one is your favorite? I know I gave a lot. I know I did. To tell you the truth, y'all, I think this one's it. I think this one's the one. If Universal could team up and bring Tom and Jerry over to Toon Lagoon, I promise you, they would get so much traction they would not know what to do with it. They really wouldn't know what to do with it, I promise you. And then not to mention, imagine the Toon Lagoon Theater having an all-new Tom and Jerry stage show with all the characters. Like, come on. Like, this is what we do. So there it is there. So, like I said, what a cool live this evening. Woo, a lot of work, y'all. Believe me, it was a lot of work. But I had fun. Yeah, I believe so. Kids will resonate with this more. And listen, I think any of the concepts, including the Robo Sapien one, I think could work. You got some stuff will be more recognizable to others. I think the Beanie Babies, very easy. I think the Superstar and the Bomba Bombs, I think those, if you want to keep that Nintendo energy flowing, very easy to do. The City of Ember, I really love that one, but I feel like the City of Ember could really be an epic universe portal for sure, because all that Ember light, oh my God, would be amazing. I think what else? You give me a moment. And then, of course, the Toys R Us one is more nostalgic than anything else, you know what I mean? But I think this one, Tom and Jerry, I think this is going to be the one that's going to do it. So I'm going to turn on my camera now because we done the whole show for over 3 hours. Yes, we have. Man, I really do love what we do, sincerely. Like I said, I really, 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 truly love what we do. So, Florentine, is this one your favorite too? Like I said, I know I pitched a lot of them tonight. I know I did. I was never expecting a Toys R Us land for a Universal. I never expected Toys R Us for a Universal land. Well, what did you think about it? What did you think about the Toys R Us one? Do you like how I did it? And like I said, too, Toys R Us has been around for such a long time that I really, truly felt that, that deserves to at least be in a theme park one good time. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. People love Toys R Us, but as a theme park land, I don't know. Well, this is the thing, right? Like Toys R Us, they're actually are trying to get into, doing movies, right? So there's a Toys R Us movie coming out with Story Kitchen. They are trying to do more with Jeffrey the Giraffe. You know what I mean? So definitely, for sure. I think the potential is there. They just have to be able to see it done in that fashion. But I'm with you. I think that this right here is probably the winner. So we are just chillaxing for a little bit, everybody. Like I said, 3 hours, 10 minutes, and 29 seconds to be able to pitch all of that to y'all. Like I said, I want to save Tom and Jerry for the end because I truly felt that that was probably going to be the one. Like I said, I know attraction ideas is like, how does this dude do this? Like I just put out the video, he just goes to work. I'm just like, that's just what me and Phil and Florentin do. we just take an inch and make it a mile. That's all we do, you know. So nothing crazy over here on our end. Just take an inch and make it a mile. That's all we do, you know. So nothing crazy over here on our end. I fully agree with this young man that's speaking right now. I fully agree with this young man that's speaking right now. And do. Yes, indeed. Phil proposes a part 2, yes, because he asked, could DreamWorks and Toon Lagoon, do something? I said, well, I think Madagascar and Toon Lagoon could do something, but I also didn't want to be predictable with this live. I wanted this live to have some very deep layers, right? I wanted it to be like, oh, okay, Nintendo, I see it. Okay. Shark Tale. I did not say that one, but that could definitely be a part of Toon Lagoon because fish are under the sea, to use a Disney term there. So yeah, that's definitely a possibility for sure, without question. I did not say that one and Madagascar for a reason. Oh yes, Car Wash was amazing. No, the song Car Wash from Shark Tale was really good. And of course, imagine Lenny, me and Lenny in person and stuff. But hey, that can be for part 2. But I wanted this live to have a lot of depth, a lot of breadth, a lot of variety. So like you did expect Toys R Us in this one. You did expect Robo Sapien to be a part of this one, right? Yes, we did talk about Volcano Bay with Madagascar. Yes, we did talk about that. But yeah, I wanted it to be layered. Like you didn't expect Robo Sapien, you didn't expect Toys R Us, you didn't expect Beanie Babies. Right. So yeah, I really wanted to, put my foot in this one. And you also didn't expect the Sea of Ember to be an option too. So I really wanted this live to be a little bit different. Because doing the typical stuff, people expect that. Right, I don't think anybody expected me to land on Tom and Jerry as the last pitch for Toon Lagoon. So, and let me tell you something: if they make this happen, they're not gonna know what to do. I promise you. Why is everybody going to Islands of Adventure? Tom and Jerry are there. I gotta get there at 7:00 in the morning because I have an hour in. I get to get in the park an hour early, so of course I want to be there. Believe me. So, hey, 3 people, welcome in. We are just chillaxing here. Glad to have all you here in the building with me. Oh man. So yes, indeed. So yep, we are chillaxing here. Glad to have all of you here in the building. Went through, I think, how many concepts did we go through? Nintendo, the Bomba Bombs, the City of Ember, Star, the Superstar. Then we went through the Beanie Babies, Robo Sapien, Toys R Us, and Tom and Jerry. So we did 7 pitches live. Woo, child. 7 different ideas in one live stream. I'm saying again, 7 different ideas in one live stream, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, listen, that's not easy work. And not to mention, too, keeping the energy to make sure that every pitch gets the time, the energy, and the commitment it deserves as well. So yeah, so good stuff. Good. So we'll probably wrap it up at 3 hours and 20 minutes. And then I'll give y'all the daily mover, and then we'll head on out of here. But a very good live stream. This live was supposed to be for Friday, but because Access Hollywood got canceled and BET Plus is going to be sunsetted, we had to make it do what it do and reflect the culture for what it is. So yeah, all good stuff. Like I said, I'm looking forward to part 2 and seeing what y'all do. And you know what? I'm gonna just say this, and I know this may sound controversial. Let me come on camera for this. I will be stepping away for part 2 of this. Okay, so part 1 was me, and part 2 are going to be Phil and Florentin, because I think I started off very good with this one, but I definitely want to see what they have. I want to see Shark Tale and see if that could work for Toon Lagoon. I want to see Madagascar, because let me tell you something, I came up with 7 of them. Okay, I came up with 7 of them. 7 of them. But I'm going to say this though. I think it's going to be very hard to beat this. Listen, Florentin and Phil, they are fire as creators, but you're going up against Tom and Jerry. Okay, Zeus Landing is leaving too. I was about to say, what's wrong with you? I will get Canada Hat on the line to get Thing 1 and Thing 2 to come fuck up your house right now. Don't play with me. Brainly knows people. Back off camera. But sincerely, I don't really know if Phil and Florentin can really beat Tom and Jerry. This one's going to be hard. And not to mention, I think Phil left, so he hasn't seen this yet. But when he sees it, he gonna be like, oh, fuck me. Okay, now, shit. Damn. Braylon. Why'd you do this, man? Phil is a telebuster B1. No, I know. Let me tell you something. Phil is definitely an amazing artist. For sure. So I know he will come up with something great. Without a shadow of a doubt, I know he will. So yes, indeed. So good stuff there. As we get ready to the 3 hour and 20 minute mark, like I said, this was a planned show for the week. Y'all know I normally don't go live on the weekends unless it is Ready to Love. So y'all know that this one was special. But yes, indeed, I wanted to bring this to y'all. Not to mention too, attraction ideas. Listen, you have ideas, brother, but we bring the concepts, brother. I keep it a buck. Now, for anybody that wants to review this, you're more than welcome to, but just know these are all ideas. None of these are happening with Universal, okay? I don't want to hear that, oh my God, Braylon said Tom and Jerry's coming to Toon Lagoon. That's not happening. Okay? Last thing I need Last thing I need is a lawsuit from Warner Brothers and Universal. Did you say it was a conversation I had on my YouTube channel? Now, if y'all want to work with me to make it happen, then that's different. Oh my God. All right, y'all, let's do the Daily Mover and then get on out of here. What a great show this evening. So here we go. All right, y'all, let's get to it. The Daily Motivator. Yes, indeed. Here we go. Hey, I'm back. Good to see y'all. Effort only releases its reward after a person refuses to quit. Napoleon Hill. Very well said. Let's get to it. It's time for Daily Motivator for March 14th, 2026, everybody. Pleasantly surprised. More is possible than what you realize. Open yourself a little wider to life's potential. The world changes quickly, and many times those changes are for the better. Today brings opportunities that didn't exist a few months ago. Some particular person, place, or activity that disappointed you in the past might now be greatly improved. Perhaps this is a good time to go and take another look. Every morning, a whole lot of good people go to work with the best of intentions. Over time, despite considerable changes, progress occurs. You can benefit from some of that progress even better. You can add to it while also adding to the richness and fulfillment in your own life. Muster a little bit of curiosity and ambition and step out into life to find a corner where some fresh new goodness has accumulated. You're sure to be pleasantly surprised. Ralph Walton. You know, I gotta tell you, I was pleasantly surprised with this. You know what I mean? When I first started with Toon Lagoon, I'm like, Toon Lagoon, I mean, it's mostly for kids, right? But what can you do to bring the adults into it? And that was the goal, right? Of course, Nintendo was the entry point. But then it's like, okay, well, people are going to expect Nintendo somehow. I talked about how, you know, Al Delfino coming over to Toon Lagoon. I talked about that during our Epic Universe, you know, expansion live. But I was like, no, I gotta do something different with Nintendo. So the first thing I will say to you is that every morning, a whole lot of good people going to work with the best intention. Over time, despite considerable challenges, progress occurs. Just because you don't get it right the first time doesn't mean you're never going to get it right. And when it came to this Toon Lagoon live, I had to really think like, okay, if I'm pitching these ideas, right, I'm thinking, okay, Mark Woodbury and Euros Creative are watching the live stream. They not. But then again, they could be, right? So give your best effort anyway. I think that's something we all need to do more often. Do not think just because you don't have everybody watching doesn't mean you shouldn't give a quality show. Because you never know what happens when you put out your best effort, right? The second thing I will tell you is this. The world changes quickly, and many times those changes are for the better. Today brings opportunities that didn't exist a few months ago. With this live, I think that the opportunity to give life to a space that's been there for years, we got to think about the opportunities that we have in life of, oh my God, this has opened up for me because of this, that, and the third. And sometimes we complain about how long something has taken, but we're not even grateful that, hey, that option opened up, right? So that's the second thing I'll tell you. And then finally, the third thing I'll tell you is this. Step out onto life to find a corner where some fresh new goodness has accumulated, and you're sure to be pleasantly surprised. In order for life to happen to you, you do have to engage with it. In order for life to happen, you do have to engage with it. In order for life to happen, you do have to engage with it. And I am so proud that each and every tour we've ever done, it is the thing too. I always say, y'all, I never know the destinations that are going to form. I never do. You know, like I said, radio taught me how to find my voice. Television taught me how to control the time slot and time management, and the marketplace taught me how to diversify it, right? That's been my formula. Found my voice, learned about how to handle a format and time constraints through TV, and then marketplace taught me how to diversify it. And the only way you step out to know how to move is to learn each area of your process that makes you you. So with that being said, everybody, it's time for the best outro on YouTube. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say you want more special, because you are always one of us, and trust you may not be where you want to be, but by the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you've been chosen to do. Well, that's one thing. Call yourself. It's another thing to be chosen. One love, much love, all love. I have spent time with you. You have spent time with me, and hopefully by spending time together, we'll rise to be great together. Always remember, we're doing radio, television, YouTube, living your best life, or just giving Universal, an idea. Tom and Jerry, Toon Lagoon, Braylon Lee, King of Wit. Just saying. I'm available for hire. Make sure the replay is not just for you to watch it, not just for you to listen to it, but for you to want to experience it again. I love you. I value you. I embrace you. Always remember, in order to see love, you got to give it, or see love, you got to give it, or see love, you got to give it. Wherever obstacles you overcome, wherever success you have achieved upon this particular day, I'm extremely proud of you. But no one's proud of you. Be proud of your damn self. And finally, y'all, listen. Anything that you do in life, do it well. That doesn't mean do it well to the point of exhaustion. That doesn't mean do it well enough to coast by, but do it well enough where if you never did it, right, and you saw somebody else do it, would you feel proud? And that's how I literally started the YouTube channel along with Braylon's virtual tour. That's how I format the channel. It is, what would I want to see on YouTube if I wasn't doing it? And I'll just go do it. That's it. That's all. That's it. Look, that's it. That is all. That's Estonichos. That's the end of the line for this video. In the words of my girl now, Miss T. And damn it, I hate she's fucking married. Shit, she's a fine woman. Anyway, I'm sorry. Listen, that I know some people may feel like her voice is a lot, but Fran Drescher, okay? Fran Drescher became famous for her voice, okay? Listen. And Amnesty is wonderful people. So, yes, indeed, my Lord, it's time for commercial break. And as you see, 3 hours, 27 minutes, and 44 seconds. It's time for me to get the hell on out here. Commercial break and fireworks are coming your way for the day. That was for the day. That's coming for the blessings I want for you. Me, all of us, as a society, as people, as culture. I feel the love. It's right back to you. Wow, good way to see it. Thank you, good sir. Love you all. Good night. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about.
Good evening. My name is Mark Woodbury. I'm the chairman and CEO of Universal Destinations and Experiences. Good evening. My name is Mark Woodbury. I'm the chairman and CEO of Universal Destinations and Experiences. Well, we're finally here. Tomorrow we begin a new chapter at Universal Orlando Resort as we open Epic Universe. We built this place for you. I want to thank you, our fans, for your love of our stories, characters, and immersive experiences that inspired this incredible place. Epic Universe represents over 8 years of meticulous planning, immense creativity, and innovation, combined with unmatched craftsmanship and operational excellence on the part of thousands of people who have brought to life the stories and characters that live beyond each of Epic's portals. But it represents so much more. Your love of Universal and the deep connections we've shared together here in Orlando over the past 30 years inspired us to dream bigger and to push the boundaries to create something extraordinary for you and for generations of fans and families to come. And tomorrow, as we open Epic Universe, I can't wait for you to experience this place for yourself. Now it's your turn to step inside, to lose yourself, and to share this place with the ones you love most. As we open this park, we hope your world becomes a little more epic. Tomorrow, Epic Universe becomes yours.
Are video games getting too expensive? This episode, we want to find some common ground because the CEOs want to raise the price even more.
Not with these broken ass games.
$5 million. That's how much San Andreas costs to make. Is it their fault for selling or our fault for buying?
Corporations claim all this stuff. Devs say otherwise.
Sports gamers, cozy gamers, whatever you call the people who play Power Wash Simulator.
I think it stings a little bit more because I'm spending my actual money.
Sure.
is not. Imagine they get rid of all movie theaters and then charge you the same price to watch the same movie at home.
That's like every streaming service. It doesn't have to be the longest of games, but am I having fun with it? This is Lex. I'm Ronell. Let's get right into it.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content.
I've been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content. I have been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content. I have been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content.
Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time.